received a message from President Trump.
President Trump said because Norway decided not to give him the Nobel Peace Prize, he no longer feels an obligation to think purely of peace, saying he's thinking about what is good and proper for the United States. He goes on to argue Denmark cannot protect the land from Russia or China, and he says in this message that the world is not secure unless the U.S. has complete and total control of Greenland.
With tensions over Greenland ratcheting up, there is growing worry about another trade war. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
President Trump says he'll impose a 10% import tax starting next month on goods from 8 nations that have rallied around Denmark and Greenland. Philip Luck of the Center for Strategic and International Studies says that could impact everything from electronics to auto parts.
Individual consumers in the U.S. will absolutely feel this. But another important point is these are not just products consumers buy, but also products we put in our own products to export and produce to the rest of the world. So not only will this increase costs for consumers, it'll make U.S. products less competitive in the global market.
The EU-U.S. trade relationship is the largest in the world.
In honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a parade is held in Washington, D.C. A service is held at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia, where the Reverend was once the co-pastor, and many organizations are holding service events to honor the late civil rights activists. A Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell will attend Wednesday's Supreme Court hearing. CBS's Stacey Lynn reports.
The justices will consider whether President Trump can fire Fed Governor Lisa Cook. Powell's rare public show of support follows subpoenas issued to the Federal Reserve, which Powell called pretext aimed at pressuring the central bank to cut interest rates and could have unprecedented legal implications for the Fed. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
More than 100 Christians have been kidnapped in Nigeria.
I'm Vicki Barker at the Foreign Desk. Armed gangs stormed 2 churches in northern Nigeria as Sunday services were underway. The UN says more than 100 worshipers were abducted. A regional Christian leader puts the number at 172, though he says 9 were later able to escape. It's the latest in a wave of kidnappings targeting both Christians and Muslims in Nigeria. Most are released after a ransom is paid.
The college football national title is up for grabs in Miami tonight as the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers aim for their first ever championship when they face the University of Miami Hurricanes. President Trump is expected to attend. This is CBS News.
Real crimes, real justice. Follow and listen to 48 Hours on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Troopers need your help to find an autistic woman allegedly kidnapped. More on that straight ahead, but your KIRO News Radio traffic is first brought to you by Seattle Sports. No need to rush out that door today. All of our major routes are looking great right now. Our earlier backups through the Renton S-curves have thinned out. A little slowing, but nothing real serious here. Heading in Seattle, North 5, you're going to thicken up at Mercer due to Revive I-5. But once you clear that Ship Canal Bridge, you're good to go. South 5, a little crowded from Northgate into downtown. And all of our passes, Stevens, Snoqualmie, White, and Blewett, are looking great with no restrictions. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
And good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. An urgent search is underway for 21-year-old Hannah Marie Davis of Bremerton. Authorities tell KIRO 7 she has the mental capacity of a 10-year-old. Troopers say she was taken by 21-year-old sex offender Leroy Franklin Nichols, who family members say refuses to return her. Davis was last seen at her home late Saturday. Nichols may be in Thurston or Lewis counties. Anyone with information should call 911 immediately. You can see their pictures posted at mynorthwest.com. Well, traffic was a nightmare on I-5 north in Pierce County. It started with a crash near the Pierce-King County line. Trooper Cameron Watts.
That escalated to 20 cars being involved. And as a result, there were multiple vehicles that were disabled in the roadway. Some vehicles were able to pull off to the right shoulder, but it only left the far right lane open while the rest of the lanes were blocked.
Final tally, 21 vehicles involved, 1 person sent to the hospital, and the debris was either a muffler or a bumper lost from a car in a crash that happened right before 5 a.m. Representative Emily Randall of Bremerton is pushing to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. She joined other Democrats in Minnesota on Friday for a hearing on ICE enforcement. She visited a memorial for Renee Nicole Good, a woman killed by ICE agents. Randall did not hold back.
Let me be clear. Using ICE agents to kill people in the streets is fascism, and I will use all the tools available to fight to defend our democracy and our collective future.
Randall is co-sponsoring articles of impeachment against Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, but the Trump administration maintains the immigration sweeps are necessary to arrest criminals in the country illegally. The Justice Department is investigating Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey for allegedly conspiring to block federal immigration agents. A prime retail building in downtown Seattle has a new owner. The property at 601 Pine Street sold for $8 million to a local partnership. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, they plan major renovations before Nordstrom Rack opens there. It's a 67,000 square foot space across from Pacific Place Mall. Over the years, it has housed Old Navy, Forever 21, and even Fox Sports Grill. All those tenants left after 2020. KIRO News Radio weather, sunny all day and a high right around 50. We're going to get cold at night with overnight lows into the mid to lower 30s all week here in Seattle. It's still cold, 39 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Behold, a fiendish masterpiece from the bowels of hell! Mondays, boy, I hate Mondays. They make me so steamed. Weekends, I go for the weekends! Son of a
Welcome to the show. Happy Monday, January 19th. Jake Skorheim here, sitting alongside myself. Spike's out today. Laura's in. We have
I'm still here.
Yeah, 2/3 of the team is here.
Sitting alongside Laura Scott.
Sitting alongside Laura. Sitting across from Laura. Not quite aside.
Yeah, true.
But we have a great show today. Even in Spike's absence, he will be back tomorrow. He's enjoying a little time off today for the holiday. We have a lot to get to, tons to get to. What a weekend of sports, which we're going to talk about in just a second. Also, I want to tease ahead in just a little bit. We're going to talk to Chris Sullivan about this 21-car pileup that you just heard about in the top of the hour news there. Kind of wild. Also, it's on a holiday weekend, or it's on a holiday, so you're hoping that the traffic backup is going to be less, but it's not. It's crazy. And then in just a couple minutes, you got to explain this to me, and if you guys can, you can text in and let me know at 888-973-5476, or if you think this is as crazy as I do. But we have this Revive I-5 project, which we're going to talk about in just a second. They have these express lanes, and they have said there has been an official request from a King County Council member and also from our very own Chris Sullivan here to get those express lanes opened up and maybe alleviate some of that crazy traffic, especially from people coming in from the north side or north part of Washington into King County, into Seattle for work and all that stuff, all that commuting. And WashDOT has an answer, and you probably are not going to like it. And their answer doesn't make sense to me. So we're going to break that down and find out what the heck they're talking about. All right, we got a lot to get to. I want to start with the Seahawks stuff because this, to me, was one of the best games Seahawks have played. I mean, they're on fire right now. They look great. I expected the 49ers to do something. I expected them. I think when we were making our predictions before the weekend, Mike Lefko was in here, and I don't remember what his prediction was.
I saved it.
Oh, you saved it?
Yeah,
All right, let's hear some predictions.
Mike and Spike both predicted that Seahawks would win 27-10. You predicted 21-13.
21-13. Okay. And then I think I even amended that because I was so excited about the Seahawks. I said, I think it's going to be something to 0. Didn't I say, I think I notched it down to 0 because I said they're not going to score.
I don't know. Sometimes I space out when you guys talk about the Seahawks. I
perfect.
Can't lie.
Well, that's what we're hoping for with our audience. So I thought they weren't going to score anything at a certain point. Got so excited about it, but I thought maybe there's a possibility. But the Seahawks end up winning 41-6, which is 2 complete games against the 49ers without a touchdown, which is very, very impressive, which makes me feel very, very good about them playing the Rams next weekend. Although I would have preferred that it was the Bears If you guys didn't watch that game, I'm sure you watched that game last night, but it was a phenomenal game. The Bears-Rams game. The winner of that game was got to come and play in Seattle. And obviously the Rams ended up winning, but it was crazy. It went into overtime. Wild game. Really, really fun. Super cold weather, which is always fun for football. But I want to highlight real quick, this is some fun audio. This happened in Seattle. There was this guy who went viral a couple weeks back when the 49ers beat the Eagles. And he's a soccer announcer, like a football, F-U-T, football, like a European. He's in the UK, in Ireland. He announces soccer over there. They call it football, but you get it. And so he made this. He had this big announcement because he's a huge American football fan. Apparently, his name is Will Gavin. He was born across the pond, but his dad got a job when he was a kid. His dad got a job in San Francisco, in the Bay Area somewhere. I don't know if it's San Francisco. Maybe it's the East Bay. I don't know. But he goes to work for a company in San Francisco. So when he was traveling with his dad back and forth for this job, he got to go to a San Francisco 49ers game when he was just a little kid, and he imprinted on the team, and he brings that love and appreciation for American football back to his home where they have European football, which is a very different sport, obviously. But he grows up to be an announcer, and he's very good, and he calls soccer games. But the way that you soccer announcers, if you guys don't watch like Premier League or anything, the way they describe things, it's beautiful, and they have to be, we got great guys too. Rabel's very good. Everybody, everybody's got their favorite announcer. But when you're watching soccer, they have to make a game entertaining when they're literally sometimes tying 0-0. That's how good you have to be to still make the game feel appealing when you have nobody scoring, and then they end in a tie where nobody has scored, which is like a double insult, but still it's a fun sport somehow. Well, part of that's because these announcers are so good. So anyway, he has this viral clip of him calling a play. I think it was McCaffrey scored against the Eagles. He calls the play. Richard Sherman gets a hold of it. Richard Sherman, obviously Seahawk, superstar, who then went on to play for the 49ers. He saw that and he posted about it. He said, "Hey, this made me smile. Good call. Love the energy." He just posted that. So this guy wakes up the next day, and he has all these messages saying like, "Oh my gosh, did you see what happened? You've gone viral now for this 49ers call." And his name is Will Gavin. I'm going to play you the clip that he had during the Seahawks game because he's gone viral again. But listen to this. It's kind of fun. He was talking to the San Francisco gate, and he says, "The first WhatsApp message I got from a friend was that Richard Sherman tweet with the eyes emoji, and I thought, that's not what this is. Oh my gosh." And then I opened it, and he was sharing our commentary, and he followed me, and I thought this was quite wild. So he gets all of this overnight fame. And so the 49ers reach out to him. They say, "Hey, let's capitalize on this viral fame. Let's bring you, we're going to fly you to Seattle for this big matchup against the Seahawks. And you're going to call the game for us. And hopefully there's a viral moment when the 49ers are beating the Seahawks." Obviously, that's not how it went down. But you're going to have a moment, and it'll be great, and we can capitalize on this. So he starts calling the game. And unfortunately for the 49ers, the Seahawks have Rashid Shaheed. And then this happened, and then he has this call. This is the British NFL announcer, Will Gavin, calling that first punt return, that kickoff return for a touchdown, which just lit the place up and went wild. And so the 49ers fly him in so he can have a viral moment for the Seahawks, which is nice. But here it is.
The idea that we have capital flight.
Oh, that's not it. Let me pull it up here. My bad. That's the wrong clip. All right, here he is, British announcer calling the Seahawks.
The idea that we...
Laura, can we load that clip? I don't know where that's at. For some reason, that seems to be a very, very boring clip from a state rep talking about taxes. In just a second, we're going to get this loaded up. Okay, but again, this is British announcer Will Gavin talking or calling the clip when Rashid Shaheed. We'll get it in just a second here. This is kind of funny. Are we getting closer, Laura? We're not seeing it. After all that buildup, we're not seeing it. We'll find it. We will get that to you. Egg on our face. All right. That was a phenomenal play, though. Rashid Shaheed running it back. This was Cooper Kupp post-game talking about Rashid Shaheed's speed, which if you're Cooper Kupp, you're very fast. So to see somebody like Shaheed be even faster must feel like quite an insult. Here it is.
Yeah, he's cheat code. I'm so angry at him for being so fast. It drives me crazy. Just jealous, I guess, at the end of the day, because he's special. I remember the first day he got to the facility, asking, like, is it cool lining up and knowing that you can run past anyone that lines up across me? He's like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right. Do we have the clip of the British guy?
Shaheed at his
Right,
own 5 across the 10, 15, 20.
This is Steve Rabel I found.
Oh, this is
let me
Rabel.
play another one.
Okay.
Hold on.
We're off
We'll
to a
get
great
there.
start. Do we have it, Laura?
Yes.
Here we go.
In the middle of the field is Rashid Shaheed. He's going to receive it right on the E of the Seahawks, out at the 5-yard line, down to the 10, 15, 20, 25. Gets Max finds a man, gets a hole, 25, 40. He's all the way down to the 50-yard line. Eddie Pinheiro tries to trip him up. 30, 35, 20, 25, 10, 5. Touchdown, Rashid Shaheed. The Seahawks take it 96 yards all the way for a touchdown.
Phenomenal. Oh, my gosh. Isn't that the best? I just want to hear that UK announcer call every single game now. It's
He's
super
got
fun.
so much energy and enthusiasm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I love
very
it.
good. He's very, very good. All right, that's enough about the Seahawks. We're going to talk more about the Seahawks just a little bit with 710's Mike Lefko. He'll be in to join us just a little bit. We'll talk about that matchup coming up against the Rams, what that's going to look like. There's a major Seahawk that just went down with a knee injury who's out for at least the next game, hopefully the next 2 games. But we'll talk about that in just a little bit. All right, let's move along to this as well. Express lanes. King County Councilmember Reagan Dunn. Are you guys driving into work right now? Are you? Today wasn't bad because it's Martin Luther King Day. It's a holiday, and traffic was fine because most people are not working. Most people don't have the dedication that Laura and Nick and I have. But the roads were not bad. But the rest of the week, they're going to be just as bad as they were last week because they have that Revive I-5 project going on. So some people who are smart had the idea. They said, hey, we've noticed, WashDOT, that you guys are locking the express lanes into one direction, just heading north. Why don't you have a little bit of time in the early morning commute when you have a ton of people coming in from Snohomish County and northern parts into King County? What if you guys open those lanes up and even just for a few hours, let some people commute, just kind of ease up on that traffic a little bit, help alleviate some of that. So here's the letter that King County Councilmember Reagan Dunn sent to the Washington State Department of Transportation. And again, these commute times are now easily in excess of 90 minutes. Easy, no problem. Here was Dunn's letter. He says, I'm requesting that your department explore the option of reopening the express lanes to southbound traffic for a portion of the morning commute as outlined in today's Seattle Times article. Even if express lanes were open to the southbound only in early morning hours, there remains a real possibility that commuters may be able to more realistically change behavior and help the flow of traffic through the region while this critical work is completed. Nobody's arguing about the necessity of the work. Obviously, it's a important thing, especially on the Ship Canal Bridge. It's very high. I drive on it every day. I do not want it to fall. I'll have fun fixing it. But if you can alleviate the traffic, I think WashDOT should try to do that. Dunn continues, he says, these impacts to southbound I-5 traffic have created debilitating conditions. This is simply an untenable and unacceptable new norm for commuters. I 100% agree with him. They should alleviate anywhere that they can. And I don't understand why, and Chris Sullivan has asked this question too. Chris Sullivan actually asked them, why aren't you guys opening these southbound express lanes? This doesn't make any sense to us. Just for a little bit, just to get a taste. Like in the morning, just give us a little bit. Most of the traffic on I-5 at that time of the morning is heading south. It's not coming north. There's plenty of northern traffic as well, don't get me wrong. But the express lanes, if you drive past them in the morning like I do, like I did usually in the morning they're heading south currently, but during this Revive I-5 project, remember during the summer, they did a short window where I think for a month they were fixing it and the traffic just got crazy. They did the same thing. They had the locked northbound for the express lanes. And I would drive by every day and I'm sitting there watching as just nobody's in the express lanes. Couple cars just petering through. Totally fine for them. But there's not a whole lot of traffic heading north at that time in the morning. So it just feels logical that they would at least give it a shot. So Chris Sullivan had put James Lynch on it. James Lynch, great reporter here at KIRO. He reached out to the Washington State Department of Transportation chief, head of WashDOT, Julie Meredith, and they asked her, they said, hey, why don't you just try it? Like, give it a shot. This was WashDOT's response. I'll play you the clip in just a second, but they actually responded with a letter. They said, WashDOT is not considering any changes at this time. We're constantly evaluating, doesn't sound like it, and reevaluating the entire system. But we also know that during the work last summer with this traffic configuration, we had much greater volume in the express lanes after 4 weeks than we had during the first few days. Part of that may be that people traveling north of downtown are not used to having the option to use the express. in the morning. Also, there's a safety component. With only 2 lanes open on northbound I-5 main line, a single collision could block a significant portion of the roadway or even both lanes. With no way to go north through the city, we need to maintain some northbound capacity at all times. We'll continue with the traffic control strategy we have in place at this time. We understand people's frustrations, yada, 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 £. Basically, that's what they're saying. Here's the thing. There might be more cars in volume heading north on the express lanes, but it's still not at all what it would be if people could use them heading south. So that's not justification for me that makes it worthy of keeping them open only in the northern lanes. They're saying, yeah, after 4 weeks, after a month, we had a higher volume. Well, yeah, no kidding, because people are seeing that it's wide open. And even after 4 weeks, which is kind of when the experiment ended, it was still pretty wide open, which means that it wasn't being used to capacity, which means you probably don't have the demand heading north. I'm not trying to be mean to them. I just think that demand heading south seems a lot heavier, and they should do that just for a little bit. So James Lynch asked Julie Meredith from WashDOT, and listen to her answer here because it does not make sense. This feels kind of like nonsense to me, but I'm going to play you the clip and see if you notice it. See if you notice what I did.
Why not have those lanes accessible to incoming traffic at least for a couple of hours?
The lanes will be open in the northbound direction while we have the 2-lane closures. It's not as easy as flipping a switch to switch them, and so we found that it operates better if we maintain a consistent system rather than take them out of service in order to do the flip the switch back and forth. So it's a better system while we have the closures in place.
All right, you heard her there. I'm going to play that one more time because see if you caught what I did, because this doesn't really make sense to me.
At least for a couple of hours.
The lanes will be open in the northbound direction while we have the 2-lane closures.
Okay.
It's not as easy as flipping a switch to switch them.
Actually, it is. Don't get me, I mean, I don't run WashDOT. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but don't they literally do this multiple times a day as it is? I drive this commute every single day. And in the mornings, the express lanes are generally going south until, whatever time, 11, noon. I don't know what time they switch them, but they do switch them. They're actually built that way to be switched. So when she says it's not as easy as flipping a switch, it is literally as easy as flipping a switch. And we see them do this every single day. So the idea that they're now saying, yeah, we find that it's easier to not flip a switch. Like, they're kind of doing that every single day as it is. So why did they change this behavior? It doesn't make any sense. Every single day they've acknowledged that the traffic heading south is heavier, which is why those lanes every single day are worse and open to the people like me who are coming in from the northern parts. When I'm coming in from Snohomish County every single day, those lanes are open. And occasionally I will use them if traffic's really bad in the normal lanes. So they realize that there's a higher volume of cars heading south, but for whatever reason, now they're saying, no, we're not going to do it. I could buy the argument that they're saying a single collision could block a significant portion of the road, but I mean, listen, stuff happens all the time. And still, you're guaranteed that every day is going to be hours and hours and hours of traffic for people. That it doesn't have to be that way. So I just wish they'd be a little more open to it. All right. Really quick, this is a bonus first things first story. We normally just do 3 stories, but this is a quick bonus one. We're going back to the moon. Did you guys see this story? We're going back to the moon. NASA has officially confirmed. When does this flight take off? February 6th. We're set to launch. They're actually going to touch down on the moon. They're just going to fly around it. But it's the first time that they've even done that in 50 years. According to this piece here, no humans are traveled this far from Earth in more than 50 years. The previous record was set by Apollo 17, December 1972. And it was crazy. We went to the moon back in 1969, so it's been a long time.
I'm going to step off the limb. It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Oh, that looks beautiful from radio.
I think it's neat. They're going to try to get somebody back there. Again, it's technology we've had for a long time. I don't know where we lost it. Put it in a closet somewhere or something, so hopefully they're getting it back. This was kind of cool, though. NASA, to get publicity out, they had this thing that I saw over the weekend. They said, hey, if you want to get your name on this flight, you can. And I actually filled this out. We have it here. I filled it out for my family. You can get these boarding passes. I think these are still available. I think you can still go and do this. You can fill out your name that you want sent into space, and they're going to do and it's free. It's totally free. So I did one for my family, the Skorheim family, and they sent me a boarding pass. I don't think this entitles me to actually fly to the moon, But it is kind of a neat thing to have. Kind of silly. My kids thought it was very neat, and so I thought I'd share it with you guys. It's kind of a fun thing, and you can watch this. So it's going to be February 6th that they're going to take off, and then the idea is hopefully by 2027 they're actually going to try to land another crew on the moon, for the first time in the 21st century. So that would be fun. Pretty cool, if you believe we even got there in the first place, which I do. All right, we have a lot more coming up. Mike Lefko talking Seahawks next. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
More like Choke Point. The new year brings a big new headache for the thousands of you commuting south on I-5 into Seattle. The latest phase of Revive I-5 is underway, and it won't be finished anytime soon. I've got you covered with traffic on the 3s every morning from 6 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News. Nate Connors has you covered every afternoon. We're always hunting for alternate routes, and we'll help you get where you need to be a little faster. On KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Breast cancer is a tough battle for anyone to fight. But when you can't work, care for your kids, or even put food on the table, that diagnosis can be devastating. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to support Northwest Hope and Healing. Our mission is to provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare, so patients can focus on healing. For more than 25 years, Northwest Hope and Healing has distributed over $3 million to thousands of local cancer patients, and you can help make a difference in our community. Join us on Saturday, January 31st for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of fine wine, gourmet cuisine, and inspiration at Mary Hill Winery in the heart of Woodinville wine country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support on January 31st. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Adrian here from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Winter might seem like an odd time to replace your windows, but now is when you get the best deals. Our Leak Armor installation team will keep your home warm and dry while installing beautiful, new energy-efficient windows. You'll feel the difference right away. Quieter rooms, lower energy bills, and a more comfortable home.
Right now, save $600 on windows and $1,500 on doors from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus, enjoy 12 months same-as-cash financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through January 25th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in one day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. The Seahawks will finish their playoff run without running back Zach Charbonnet. Charbonnet suffered a significant knee injury in Saturday's win over the 49ers. Head coach Mike McDonald tells 710 Seattle Sports Charbonnet is the epitome of what it means to be a Seahawk.
Plays his tail off, detail-oriented, unselfish. And it just hurts, man. It hurts that it's going on, but he's going to be back. He's going to be back stronger than ever. The guys are going to pick him up.
He'll need surgery and is done for the season. Local business owners say they're fed up after a deadly shooting in Seattle's Chinatown International District Saturday. A shooting outside a hookah lounge on 8th South left one man dead and 3 others hurt early Saturday morning. It's the latest in a string of violent crimes that have happened in recent weeks near hookah lounges. Melissa Miranda, who owns a restaurant across the street damaged by gunfire, spoke to KIRO 7 TV.
How many times does this have to happen until we actually get the support that we need?
Although police mentioned the hookah lounge in their news release, the owner told KIRO 7 her business had nothing to do with the shooting and was closed when it happened. A fire chief in Southwest Washington faces serious charges. Prosecutors say Jeffrey Archer is accused of abusing 4 young boys. Police believe it happened at his Ocean Park home between 2013 and 2019. According to the Seattle Times, deputies arrested Archer January 9th and booked him into the Pacific County Jail. He's now on leave, and Ilwaca has named an interim chief. A semi-truck driver is facing DUI charges after police say they hit a snowplow on eastbound 90 near Kittitas Saturday night. KIRO 7's Dee Sun has the details.
WashDOT says its snowplow drivers were treating the road when the semi crashed into them. The plow hit the median and rolled over. The WashDOT driver had to go to the hospital.
The plow driver was released from the hospital Sunday. The semi-truck driver remains under investigation for DUI. And now your KIRO News Radio traffic brought to you by Closets by Design. North 5 at the entrance to our express lanes. We've got a stalled semi blocking the HOV lane. You're backed up bumper to bumper approaching the West Seattle Bridge. Add to this our Revive I-5 backup approaching the Ship Canal Bridge, and it's taking you close to a half hour just to get through downtown Seattle. South 5 slows a bit from Northgate into downtown. Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. Up in Snohomish, southbound 9 at Lowell-Larimer Road. A crash is blocking both southbound lanes. Traffic is using the left turn lane to get through. This report brought to you by Custom Storage Solutions for closets, garages, home offices, and more. Go to closetsbydesign.com to see current specials or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to learn more. And now your KIRO News Radio weather. Sunny days all this week with highs around 50 today, but will gradually cool down to the mid-40s as the week moves along. Overnight lows drop to the mid to low 30s in Seattle. We're at 42 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. I'm very excited about this. This is all anybody's talking about right now. Please give us a few more weeks of this. This is the best. Mike Lefkoe from 710 Seattle Sports. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Jake. So I'm what everyone's talking about? Or you mean the Seahawks? That's
no, I meant you.
What we're about to talk about.
But since you're here, we could talk about the Seahawks. Okay. People are loving Mike. They're
probably
talking
makes more
about
sense.
Mike. Yeah. Everybody loves Mike. The Seahawks. What a weekend. At what point in the game did you think to yourself, all right, we're going to take this game.
What, like 3 seconds in?
Was it 3
No,
seconds?
I don't know. Whenever Rashid Shaheed broke free of the kicker and you realize, and I did not at the time because I was just watching him, I didn't realize that Pinheiro tried to kick him.
Yeah.
He went flailing out there. So that was the flag. But you see flag and you're predisposed to think, oh, it's going to be on the return team because there's a hold somewhere, there's a block in the back.
That's why he was able to do that.
Yeah. You're like, oh, there's no way he just broke free without a hold, especially on a touchdown. I think that's classic sports fandom to just restrain your excitement when you see a flag. Yeah. So the second that touchdown stood, about 12 seconds into the game, it's like, okay, the Seahawks are ahead. This defense has been suffocating. They get to play with a lead. I think at that point you felt very good. And then after the first couple of drives, it was pretty obvious the Niners just did not have the resources and the defense was too good.
What's crazy to me about that is how impactful something like a kick return is on the entire spirit of the game. The entire game from 13 seconds in feels like a whole different game now. You're not waiting with that anticipation. Oh, can they finally get some points on the board? Let's be the first ones to score. What is that going to mean? You've just done it in 13 seconds, and that's as close as the 49ers ever got to being within scoring distance from us. And then that was it. And then they got nothing the rest of the game.
This crowd
2 kicks,
makes such an impact. But no, that's nothing. You're right. They never got anywhere close to the red zone. They never came close to scoring a touchdown. Brock Purdy's best plays were scramble around, throw the ball up, and then we'll have a frantic catch. So there was no flow of an offense for the 49ers. So yeah, they pretty much, the closest they got was before that kick landed in Shaheed's hands.
So that was is this 2 solid games without the 49ers scoring a single touchdown on the Seahawks?
Yeah. I mean,
how difficult is that?
Okay, I don't want to discredit what the Seahawks did. It's thoroughly impressive. I do think the 49ers score a touchdown if they're fully healthy, but you know what? Who cares if you're fully healthy and you're scoring a touchdown or not? The fact that you hold a team without a touchdown in the NFL, because they have backups, they have solid players, they have one of the best running backs in the game who was out there for most of the game, and Christian McCaffrey. Their quarterback's good. The Seahawks held them to just nothing. I mean, nothing. That's so impressive, especially at this stage in the playoffs. I don't care about the excuses that 49ers fans will have about them being banged up and they're just proud to get there and all that.
That's sports.
You get that far.
Yeah.
That is sports, right. You should be good enough to field a team that's somewhat competitive. The Seahawks were so thoroughly dominant, they took that away.
So the Seahawks are going to play. Everybody was waiting for Sunday's game. They were going to see who was going to play, the Bears or the Rams. Obviously, you watched that game.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on that game? Because we're not playing the Rams, which is not a team that I wanted to be playing, but whatever. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. What did you think of the Bears?
So I like that it does go through the Rams again. It's fitting.
Yeah.
It's a little more stressful, but at the same time, it will make for an epic classic championship game.
Sure.
You're right. I don't buy into the fact that, hey, if you play the Bears, that they're somewhat worse, so it qualifies the championship in a sense or puts some sort of asterisk on it. No. Yes, the Rams are going to be more difficult theoretically. But the Bears also have some crazy kind of voodoo that the fact they're able to keep coming back here, you don't, in a sense, want to play a team like that. Now, both those theoretical wins would have happened at home if they had pulled it off and completed the comeback against the Rams. So you're going on the road, maybe that magic disappears. But a team like that is also kind of scary because of the way they can
That X factor, you're totally right.
Yeah, they can just magic something out of nothing, literally nothing. When Caleb Williams was backpedaling to the 45-yard line, if people didn't see this game, he's retreating. The final play of the game, if they don't convert, he's retreating to the 40-yard line. He throws it to the end zone, about 45 yards toward the middle of the end zone, and somehow they catch it. There's a sense of, well, you don't want to play a team like that because they just keep finding a way. They had a miraculous comeback against the Packers. They almost did it against the Rams. So, yes, the Rams come in here more healthy than they were when they played last time here at Lumen Field. But also, the Seahawks are peaking. The defense is fully healthy. They are clicking on all cylinders. And I think the defense, not on a short week, which, by the way, that Thursday night game, where everyone points to how well the offensives did, both teams are coming off a short week. It's a Thursday night game.
Sure.
The defenses did look gassed. I mean, Matt Stafford and Puka Nacua did light them up. But on a full week, I'm feeling pretty confident what this defense can do.
Well, it's number one offense versus number one defense, right? And you got to think that the Seahawks are going to pull it out. It feels like they have so much momentum going right now. And like you were saying, they're just peak right now. Both teams are peak. They're doing fantastic. Charbonnet, we got bad news about Charbonnet today. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Charbonnet is out. Well, the season's only 2 more games max, but he's out for the season. So Mike McDonald said it's a, quote, significant knee injury. which is unfortunate. It's devastating. He's been a great 1-2 punch with Ken Walker.
Yeah.
So the fact that you don't have that secondary bell cow, who he has had some big runs this year. That bruising force has been a key counter to go up against Ken Walker. So you don't have that. That is unfortunate. But the defense has carried them for so much of this season. And in the playoffs, it's been the defense. So in the short term, yes, it's going to stink. I think they can overcome it. You don't have to worry about the long term yet. The long term is going to be kind of unfortunate because you're probably losing him for most of next season.
First half
also.
at least, right? Next season?
At least. There have been some reports out that it's an ACL. Either way, a significant knee injury, which requires surgery. You're at this point of the season, you're not going to be back for much of the start. So you might not have him for next year. But we don't have to worry about that yet.
Yeah. Let's focus on next game.
The two most important games of the year loom. Certainly the most important one looms on Sunday, and it is the Rams. And I think finally I'll circle back to this because we got so excited at the start. I think the crowd makes a massive impact, as you saw after that kick return. And then in that Rams game, that Thursday night game, I don't think there's any way the Seahawks come back if that's on the road.
Mm-hmm.
They're down 16 points in the fourth quarter. Well, what happened right after that? The Rams went 3 and out 3 straight times because of the crowd. You start to get that sense. You want to talk about momentum. You start to feel that. And then the other team feels that too. It creeps in the back of your mind like, they're coming to life. If we don't do something here, you tighten up a little bit. The Rams certainly looked like it in Chicago last night.
Yeah.
So that crowd makes a massive impact. And I think you give the Seahawks a little bit more of an edge, too, if they can come to life again and get the crowd juiced up.
Did you see some of the stuff that the Rams were doing last night to try to combat that cold?
They had jackets on, then off quickly. And
then they were saying that Stafford was wearing a scuba suit under his jersey, which I didn't see, but I don't know. I guess it could have been.
Well, the funniest part was there was a timeout late in the game, and they were still all standing out there on the middle of the field because it was a short timeout. The equipment staff ran out there, threw the coats on them in the middle of the field. The Bears defenders were not wearing jackets, and then they ran out there and flung them back off.
Maybe they should have.
The problem is it's not going to be that cold in Seattle. It's going to be nice again.
Well, they had I saw on the sidelines, they were doing highlights of this. They had a big tub of chicken soup, or chicken broth in case you want to warm up. They had hot chocolate, which I don't know how great that's going to be for your athletic endeavors, but whatever. They had hot chocolate. And then I guess the receivers were putting what is this stuff? Pepper, like hot peppers and stuff in their socks.
Oh,
did you see that?
Never heard of that. The actual hot peppers?
Not hot peppers, but it's like this. No, not toe warmers. It's
icy hot.
It's not icy hot.
Ah, all right. No,
it's oh my gosh, I'm blanking on this. No. It was like what do you put in to make chili hot? What do you put in to make chili hot? Not chili powder. Something.
You can put chili powder in there.
Think of it like a chili powder, but it was something like that. But they were actually putting it in their socks because they were saying that is going to draw blood to your feet. It's going to make your feet hot.
Oh. Okay.
And whatever. I mean, they won the game, so maybe it worked.
All right. I know linemen usually coat their arms in Vaseline to keep all the body heat compressed in there. So you see them go out in the field without wearing long sleeves or anything. It's because they're all coated in Vaseline.
Long-distance swimmers do that, too.
That's a little trick there.
They used to do that with seal fat to try to hold their heat in. They could try seal fat.
Wow.
If they run out of Vaseline.
What a fascinating thing to learn today.
Isn't
about
that
long-distance swimmers and seal fat.
Yeah, back in the day. I'm sure they use something different now. They probably use bodysuits, would be smarter than covering yourself in Shark's favorite food.
But yeah, that unfortunately, that's not going to have any impact on Sunday. No, because I do think the Rams, that's a real thing. I think the Rams do struggle in the cold. Matt Stafford, certainly. He did not look good for most of the second half. He had the drive. Yeah. He had the drive when it mattered, but for most of that second half, if they play like that, that offense has no chance against the Seahawks defense.
That's Mike Lefkoe, 710 Seattle Sports. Thanks for coming in, man.
All right, thanks, Jake.
We got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
Be there when the Seahawks make history. Hello! KIRO Newsradio's giving away 2 tickets to the NFC Championship game.
Oh, my word!
Sunday against LA at Lumen Field.
I can't tell you how pumped I am to see what the 12s bring.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app and click the Win tab to enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your odds.
This should be fun.
Enter daily now through Wednesday, January 21st. Contest rules at mynorthwest.com/win.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking Active Liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, all natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better, and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or pick some up today at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery. Are now available at Wegmans. New year, new you, new Nordic.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
Be there when the Seahawks make history. Hello! KIRO Newsradio's giving away 2 tickets to the NFC Championship game.
Oh, my word!
Sunday against LA at Lumen Field.
I can't tell you how pumped I am to see what the 12s bring.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app and click the Win tab to enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your odds.
This should be fun.
Enter daily now through Wednesday, January 21st. Contest rules at mynorthwest.com/win.
Welcome back to the show. All right, this is a cool story. If you like baby animals, who doesn't like baby
animals?
Is there anything cuter than little baby? Baby humans are cuter, but like baby little animals, people love baby puppies. They call them puppies. They don't call them baby puppies. The Woodland Park Zoo is celebrating because they have now officially had 2 new baby cubs, female. The Seattle Times had this piece. I'm reading about it right now with you. 2 new female South African baby lions were born. They say they're bursting with pride. That's a nice pun. They say the sand-colored cubs marked with speckles of dark fur across their adorable heads.
Honestly, shameless plug to watch us on YouTube because I pulled photos from the Woodland Park Zoo blog, and these are the cutest little lion cubs. They look like little kittens.
They do look like kittens. They
big paws.
won't always look like kittens. Big cats scare me. Cats in general.
I mean, you watched Tiger King, obviously,
I
right?
saw it. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Cats are very dangerous. They can be very dangerous. Little cats are very dangerous. They're crazy. We had a cat growing up. We didn't have it for long. You just some cats lose their minds and they can do crazy things to you, and they're super fast and they got big claws. They're not all like that.
But there's a TV show, My Cat from Hell, for a reason.
Yes. I didn't know about
Sorry,
that.
H-E double hockey sticks.
No, that's fine. My cat from Heck.
Heck.
But these little sweeties from the zoo. This is if you're watching on YouTube. These are the cutest little cubs I've ever seen.
So do you think there's going to be a baby animal rush at Woodland Park?
There's got to be.
Because there's only a short window where they're this cute.
Yes.
But then how do you even get through the throngs of people to see them?
Well, they got to wait. It takes a little while because I didn't realize this, but I was reading about this. The first 3 weeks of a cub's life, blind. Completely blind. They can't see a thing. Aww. And so they keep them separated. They also can't be out in cold weather, so they can't be less than 50 degrees.
Bad time of year to be born. My goodness.
That's the thing. I have mixed feelings about these cubs because in the wild, here they are with their mom. And their mom's name, what's their mom's name here? I have their mother's name. Their mother's name is Ilanga? Is that right? Ilanga? Is it two L's? Is it just Langa or is it Ilanga? I can't tell. But their mom, she's a first-time mother. They give her a little bit of time. They take a little time away from the dad, which feels sexist to me. They don't let the dad be part of these little cubs' lives. But I guess for safety reasons.
I'm sure it's for safety reasons.
For safety reasons. It can't be because they hate the male lions. That'd be weird. But they have a little time away until they're a little bit bigger, and then they can introduce them into the pride at the zoo. This is the first time new cubs have been born at the zoo since 2014. So this is a big deal. These are South African.
Hey, last time the Seahawks won a Super Bowl.
Every time there's cubs born at the zoo, they go to the Super Bowl.
It spells victory.
Well, that year wasn't that year wasn't a good year.
I thought 2015 was the year that we lost in 2014.
I believe it was 2014 that we lost to the. Am I right about that, Andrew? Yeah, he'll look it up.
Oh yeah.
Look it up first, Andrew.
What year did we lose to the Patriots? I think it was 2014. We'll check on that.
Text us 888-973-5476.
2015, so 2014 season, yeah.
2014.
So I was right.
Well, we're both
about
right.
football.
I say we're both kind of right.
Ooh.
You were right about football. Good for you. This is really cool though, because I always feel bad about these big, beautiful animals. Like they no longer have elephants at the zoo, right? In the Woodland Park, don't they no longer have elephants there? I could be wrong about that, but some of these bigger animals, they now relocate to larger places that have larger enclosures. Is that correct? They don't have.
That is correct.
Okay.
Actually, they ended their elephant program in 2015.
Yeah, and hippos.
So maybe
too.
that's why we started losing Super Bowls in 2015.
Well, there you go. So they lose the elephants. They didn't lose them. They sent them away. Hard to lose. But they have the hippos also are not there. We were just at the zoo recently with my kids, and we're walking around. I'm like, oh, we got to go look at the hippos. And the hippo enclosure, remember it was like filled with water and stuff? It's not, they don't have hippos
Totally
anymore.
dry?
Dry. Nothing.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember hearing a story when I was in elementary school that there was a guy who had been permanently banned from the zoo because he had tried to climb over into the hippo enclosure to get better photos. Hippos are
super territorial.
Very, very dangerous.
Yeah, really, really dangerous. Even Seattle hippos, which you think would be pretty docile.
Maybe a little more passive aggressive than.
They are. They just look at you.
Yeah.
The other
Side
ones will
eye.
kill you, but these ones will just look at you. But this is kind of cool. I have a friend who works at the Woodland Park Zoo, and they sent me this because they go to such lengths. I think they all recognize that this is not Africa, and these lions probably are going to enjoy a different kind of life if they were born in the wild than being born in captivity. Although lions are born in captivity all the time, they don't have a problem with it. Normally, I mean, there's some animals that tend to not be born in captivity. Lions are not one of them, but they're obviously going to have a much bigger, more expansive life if they're living out in the in the African wilds. And so they really went to this is a video from the moment of birth. I can't confirm this, but somebody sent this to me and they said it is. So I'll play it like it is. This is the moment that the cubs emerge from the mom. They're being born, and all the zoo staff, I guess all the vets. What do they call them? They call them vets at the zoo? Yeah, all the vets. Do they have a different name, Andrew?
Zoologist, maybe?
Yeah, it might be zoologist.
Zoologist. zoologists, vets, zoo staff, whatever, they're all gathered around. They try to make it seem as lifelike as possible for these lion cubs being born, so they could experience what. And this is he took video. It's amazing. They did this for the lions. Amazing. Isn't that cool? They're singing to them. They learn the Zulu language, and they're singing to these baby lions as they're born, and then they welcome them into the world. And now the lions are here, and they're just going to hang out until they get to meet their dad. Very exciting. So you can go to Woodland Park Zoo if you'd like to see those lions, but not for a few weeks because they won't be available for a while. All right, we have a lot coming up. You don't want to miss a second of it, so stick around. We'll be right back.
One win away from the Super Bowl.
You stacked plays. It started with a 95-yard. Shaheed to the end zone. Holy catfish.
We play our style of play. Games can look like this often.
The table is set for the NFC Championship game. Sunday at Lumen Field against the Rams. Kickoff at 3:30.
Job's not done.
We're going to do the same thing.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle and the home of the Seahawks. KIRO Newsradio.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
Cold is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Right now, get a free furnace with the purchase of a premium heat pump and air cleaning package at CM Heating. Start today with an always free estimate. There's no beating CM Heating for heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical. Go to cmheating.com.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community.
Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
Start the new year taking active liver supplements from New Nordic. Online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. With wind chills below zero and a day off from school, young volunteers across Chicago head indoors to celebrate the Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service. WBBM's Brandon Eisen.
I'm so proud of our kids for coming today.
Alicia Siegel and her young daughters joined dozens of other volunteers at the nonprofit Cradles to Crayons, which aims to collect 50,000 winter coats for children throughout Chicago. But before they can be distributed to families, the donated items will need to be sorted. Young Emily Siegel shares what's going through her head as she sorts through clothing for girls her age and younger on this MLK Day of Service.
I think that a little girl will probably pick it up and feel happy that she has this top instead of having nothing. You know?
Brandon Eisen for CBS News, Chicago.
In addition to Arctic cold, some portions of the Midwest are getting heavy snow. Injuries have been reported in a massive pileup on Interstate 196 in West Michigan, north of Kalamazoo. This driver took a cell phone video after swerving into the median to avoid hitting damaged cars and trucks.
I seen it way ahead, and I had to go out. I went off the edge. We got about 100 cars. Right. Between Hudsonville and Zeeland, folks. Stay off the highway.
President Trump says on February 1st he will impose 10% tariffs on NATO allies that have sent military forces into Greenland. He plans to increase the tariffs to 25% on June 1st and keep them in place until the U.S. reaches a deal to acquire Greenland. CBS's Olivia Gazis.
There are few options on the table for the Europeans, but even fewer of them are good. So the most immediate impact has been a freeze within the European Parliament on the trade deal that the U.S. struck with the EU last summer. Some European officials are also pushing for additional retaliatory tariffs on over $100 billion worth of American goods as a sort of next step.
New CBS News polling shows many Americans do not approve of how ICE is conducting its operation in Minnesota. 61% say ICE is being too tough when stopping and detaining people, and more than half say the Trump administration is not focused on dangerous criminals. CBS's Ian Lee in Minneapolis.
DHS says it's made more than 3,000 arrests in the Twin Cities since Operation Metro Surge began last month. Justice Department officials are vowing to press charges against a group of protesters who disrupted a church service on Sunday. The demonstrators allege one of the pastors leads the local ICE field office.
Italian designer Valentino Garavani has died at age 93. His foundation announced his death, calling him a true source of light, creativity, and vision. Supermodel Claudia Schiffer in Paris in 95.
I think he just loves women. He loves to dress them. He loves to see them look beautiful and glamorous, but always just really extremely elegant. Valentino is an elegant person himself, so it makes sense.
This is CBS News.
Follow and listen to CBS Mornings on the go on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
State troopers need your help to find a missing, endangered person this afternoon. Details coming right up at your KIRO News Radio traffic right now, brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. In Bothell, we've got a new crash. It's southbound 405 at Northeast 195th, taking up your left toll lane. The backup is quickly stacking up your bumper-to-bumper to State Route 527. In Snohomish, the city of Snohomish, we're still dealing with a collision southbound 9 at Lowell-Larimer Road. It's blocking just the right lane now, so we've opened up a lane for you, but you're still sitting in a mile and a half backup starting back at Marsh Road. In Seattle, North 5 at Seneca, a disabled semi is still sitting in that HOV lane. This is right before the on-ramp to the express lanes, and you're backed up to the West Seattle Bridge. Just past this, of course, we have our Revive I-5 backup approaching the Ship Canal Bridge. Plan on 20 minutes to make it through downtown Seattle. For nearly 50 years, 90,000 homeowners have trusted Home Comfort Alliance. Right now, save up to $2,000 on new heating and cooling systems. Call the Comfort People, homecomfortalliance.com.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. The Washington State Patrol has issued an endangered missing person alert for 21-year-old Hannah Marie Davis of Bremerton. Investigators tell KIRO 7 she has the mental capacity of a 10-year-old and was lured from her home Saturday night by 21-year-old convicted rapist Leroy Franklin Nichols. He's believed to be a transient living in Thurston and Lewis counties. If you see either of them, dial 911. You can see their pictures posted at mynorthwest.com. The Seattle Times is reporting that a Portland baby remains hospitalized after drinking recalled By Heart formula donated to families in need. 10-month-old Sean Carter developed infant botulism, leaving him on a feeding tube and struggling to crawl and talk. His mother says she received the formula from a state program days before the nationwide recall. More than 50 babies nationwide have been sickened, and By Heart production remains shut down. Families affected are now pursuing legal action against the company. One person is dead after a stolen car slammed into a power pole at more than 100 miles an hour over the weekend in Tacoma.
A state trooper tried to stop a stolen car early Sunday morning at southbound SR 509 and Port of Tacoma Road. They say the driver took off and lost control, crashing near 21st and Pacific. They say the car was going about 110 miles an hour when it hit the pole. Including the driver, there were 3 people in the car. The front seat passenger died. Another person in the back seat was badly hurt, as was the driver, who faces several charges, including vehicular homicide. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle police have arrested a 12-year-old boy accused of attacking a woman with a screwdriver and stealing her purse. The attack happened Saturday in the Central District. Police say the boy, wearing a hot pink ski mask at the time, ran up to a 43-year-old woman and poked her several times in the face with a screwdriver. KIRO 7's Dee Sun has more details.
We're told he ran to a nearby parking garage to go through the woman's things, and then he went back to her actually and attacked her again. Seattle police say this 12-year-old has had several encounters with them in the past, so officers went to his house and got a search warrant to arrest him.
The 12-year-old is now in juvenile detention center. And now your KIRO News Radio weather. Sunny days ahead all week with highs around 50 today and tomorrow. By midweek, those highs will drop to the upper 40s and frigid overnight lows with dipping to the mid to lower 30s here in Seattle. We're at 42 and sunshine in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 fantastic hours to go. I'm all by myself today. Laura's here, so I'm not by myself. Laura and I are here without
Andrew's
Spike.
here too.
And Andrew.
Hello.
And Nate's here, I guess.
Nate's here,
too.
yes.
The only one who's not here is Spike. He's off enjoying some rest today, taking the day off. He will be back tomorrow, so we can have a lot of fun then. But for today, we still got a lot of stuff we got to get to. In just a little bit, we are going to be fortunate enough to have, who we have another, was it Luke Ducey at 1:30? Is that Chris Sullivan?
Chris Sullivan's at 1:30.
Sullivan's at 1:30.
Luke Ducey, 2:30.
At 1:30, this is going to be a conversation you guys are going to want to have and to hear about if you have to drive in traffic, like most of us do. We have the Revive I-5 project happening right now, and Chris has asked a great question of WashDOT. He said, hey, why don't you guys open the express lanes heading south? Why are you locking them in going north? And their response has been, well, it's really cumbersome to have to switch them back and forth. You can't just flip a switch, which we know actually they can because they do it every single day, a couple times actually. So that answer doesn't really fly with me. We're going to talk with Chris about that in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a very good conversation. Speaking of travel, I want to get into this because this is very interesting to me. You guys remember the Real ID that we were all warned was going to kick in, and it was like commercials left and right. If you don't have Real ID, you can never travel again, and you're going to be stuck here, and you don't want to be stuck here. And, you know, even though it's a beautiful state, you're going to want to travel at some point, and you got to have this ID, or you're going to have, I guess you could have your passport as well. But your typical old-fashioned license was no longer going to be acceptable at the airport when you want to fly. So they had all these ads, and they were pushing all these ads, and they kind of sounded like this. This one was with friendly animals. It's a cartoon, friendly animals. I don't know who this is based towards, actually, because there's no children who are flying who this applies to. that they would need this real ID, where they would need a cartoon explaining it to them. But I guess there's some like simpleton adults. But here you go.
New ID requirements for travel are here.
There are multiple forms of ID you can use.
Make sure you're
Cute
prepared
koala
so
or
you
something.
can relax and enjoy your flight.
Real ID has arrived.
It's actually a raccoon. It's not a koala. So whatever, cute. But they were also saying standard IDs no longer will apply. You're not going to be able to fly through the airport with the standard ID. And there was a big countdown to this. We had Chris on numerous times. It was like, all right, this is kicking in. I think the day was going to be February 1st. Or not February 1st. I think it was going to be May, right? It was all the way back in May. If you don't have your real ID, you're out of luck. You're out of luck. Here was another ad they put out.
Starting May 7, 2025,
May 7.
Real ID is required for travel within the U.S. and to access certain federal facilities. Using the standard form of ID will not apply anymore.
Okay, standard form ID will not apply. Can't get through with it. All right, so here's what we just found out. So starting February 1st, if you don't have a real ID, which we were told was the worst thing in the world, and again, whatever, they gave us 20 years to get ready for this. That's fine. But if you don't have real ID, you're not going to be able to fly. But now they're saying if you don't have real ID and you don't have any other kinds of ID, you can actually still fly. You just have to go through this separate thing at the airport called Confirm ID. And we're going to charge you $45 for it. And what they say is this fee ensures that non-compliant travelers, not taxpayers, cover the cost of processing travelers without acceptable IDs. So if you have not gone through the hassles, and I don't know what the wait is now. I mean, back in May, when it was just starting and people hadn't scheduled their appointments to go in and get whatever verification that you need, sometimes it was weeks that you were backed up. So if you had a flight to catch, you were out of luck. But now that's not a problem. You can still use your regular ID with this TSA Confirm ID process. They do say if you're going to do this, plan on an extra 30 minutes at the airport. And again, it's going to be $45. Let's see here. They say after completing the process, travelers will receive a receipt. They must present it digitally or printed to TSA officers to begin identity verification. This is if you go onto the website and buy the service. All airline travelers who use TSA Confirm ID will be subject to additional ID verification, screening measures, and potential delays. So you need to get there an extra 30 minutes if you don't have ID. The problem I have with this is they really pushed this and they really made it sound like it's the end of the world if you don't have the right ID. And now they're saying, well, or $45. Like if you don't have the right ID or $45. And now they're saying, this is the last line of this piece here, which I found in the, where was this at? My Northwest. You can read about this on our website. Check it out. They say if somebody doesn't have the proper form of identification and chooses not to use Confirm ID, they may not be allowed through security, officials have stated. So that's it. Can't fly at all. But I guess they're super serious this time. Last time, that's what they said too. And that turned out not to be the case. So maybe it's, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to fix this. Are they going to force people to get it? They can't. And maybe are they doing this because so many people haven't gotten it? And now they're saying like, okay, well, $45. I thought this was impossible to confirm the IDs at the airport. And now they're saying $45 does it. Whatever. All right.
Hey, I just got to jump in real quick, Jake.
Please.
That's not a guarantee, just so the our listeners know. Just because you pay that fee and you go through that paperwork, it's not a guarantee. They still will.
Well, yeah, if you don't pass the screening.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's not guaranteed still.
Yeah, no, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Nate. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So again, not a guarantee if you don't pass the security screening, if you don't have a real ID. All right, let's move on to this clip. I've been waiting to get to this for a few days. I'm very anxious to talk about this with Spike when he gets back. The millionaire's tax, which is being pushed in our state. Governor Bob Ferguson talked about it. He mentioned it in the State of the State address. He's fine with it, apparently, even though technically it's unconstitutional in our state to have a millionaire's tax. Here's what it says, actually, in our state constitution. I highlighted this for all the fun folks out there who like to hear about state constitutions. But you can't apply it differently. You have to apply it uniformly. Yeah, Washington State Constitution, property cannot be taxed at a rate greater than 1%, and taxes must be uniformly applied to all residents. That's written into our Constitution. Now Bob Ferguson's saying, like, well, he'd support an amendment to that to get the millionaires. This is what he had to say in the State of State address.
Our system takes too much in taxes from hardworking families and not enough from the wealthy.
Who I guess in this case are not hardworking? Is that what he's saying?
Washington families whose income is in the bottom 20% pay a whopping 13.8% of their total income in taxes. while those whose income is in the top 1% pay only 4.1% of their income. That's not fair, that's not right, and that's why I'm calling for something truly historic, a millionaire's tax.
Clappy, clappy, clappy. Some people like that. I don't like it. I'm going to play that clip again. I want to hear his reasoning one more time. Listen to this.
Is in the top 1%, pay only 4.1% of their income. That's not fair, that's not right, and that's why I'm calling for something truly historic, a millionaire's tax.
He's saying it's not fair and it's not right that somebody who makes more money pays a smaller percent of their income. But that's true all the time. Like when you buy gas, when I buy gas, we pay a much higher percentage of our net worth in gas. Every time we purchase it, it's a much higher percentage of how much money that we have to spend than a multimillionaire does. But they went and made multi-millions. That's the benefit of being super rich. You don't have to sweat some of the small stuff like gas that you and I sweat. It doesn't make sense to me that he would use that as justification for taxing millionaires, because he's saying, well, it's not fair that people who don't have as much money pay a higher percentage of their taxes. Well, that's true for every single thing you purchase, every single thing. Here's how he says the tax would be used in our state if this ends up going through, which I hope it doesn't. Seattle Times has this piece. We'll talk about it in just a second, but they're claiming based on one poll that this has bipartisan, bipartisan support across the aisle. I don't know if I buy that. I actually don't think that's true. We'll get into that in just a second. But here's how Ferguson said the money's going to be used in our state.
I want to be clear that when I use the term millionaire, I mean someone who makes more than $1 million in income in a single year. That does not include assets like the value of your home. Less than 0.5% of Washingtonians will pay it. Now let's talk about what happens to the revenue from this millionaire's tax. Bottom line, we must take a significant percentage of these dollars and put them back in the pockets of Washingtonians. Some of those gains must be used to expand eligibility for and increase the amount of the Working Families Tax Credit. Under this program, the state sends a check each year to working families. That's a great start, thanks to you. But we can do even better. We must expand this program so that more people are eligible and increase it so Washingtonians get more money back in their pockets. Second, we must also use a significant portion of the revenue to lower taxes on small business owners. Small businesses are the backbone of our economy. They create jobs and they build community. I want to let them keep more of their hard-earned money. They should not have to pay a B&O tax until they gross more than $1 million in revenue.
I don't understand who he thinks this is going to number one, do you really believe for a second that they're going to take the money that they collect from however much they collect from millionaires, if this thing passes, which I hope it doesn't, but if it does pass, they're going to take that money and put it back in your pocket somehow? Do you really believe they're going to do that? You can text us, 888-973-5476. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, if you think this is a good idea. He also says that he wants to protect the smaller businesses. Who do you think these people are that are making this money? These are small business owners. And maybe they're making a good salary, but they work their butt off for it. Listen, Washington Policy Center had this breakdown. This is really interesting. If this thing passes in Seattle, it would make Seattle the top income tax rate, would be the highest in the nation in Seattle. Listen to this breakdown. Washington Policy Center had this. 9.9 state income tax proposal would stack on top of existing Seattle payroll taxes, which are the Jumpstart tax, the social housing tax, etc., plus the state's Washington CARES tax, that would lead to a total combined tax rate of 18.37%. That's 22% higher than the next closest jurisdiction, New York City. I always thought of New York as like a place that's way higher tax than a place like Seattle. That wouldn't be the case if this thing goes through. The tax rate in New York City would be 14.776%. In Seattle, it would be 18.037% when you add in all those different things. That's really pricey. Why would somebody stay in Seattle if they're going to be taxed at that rate? Wouldn't you move to Bellevue if you're a millionaire? Wouldn't you just leave? Wouldn't you just flee somewhere else and keep your money? Also, the state is constantly running into horrible deficit numbers all the time. And they're revising them all the time, and they get worse and worse and worse. Why would you give them more of your money? And Seattle Times piece says like, oh, this is beloved. People love this. Listen, I'm going to read this a little bit from Seattle Times. You tell me if I'm getting this wrong. 888-973-5476. But I think this is very interesting. I'm going to read a little bit of this piece here. People in Washington have famously said no to a state income tax the past 10 times they voted on it. But maybe this time it'll work. The rejections were hardly mild since 1970. The closest the pro-tax side has come to a win was in 2010 when they lost by such a wide margin as 28 points that it effectively made the idea so radioactive. So the latest independent poll of the state sure contains some surprises. And this independent poll from a polling place called DHM Research says that 61% of Washingtonians back the idea of a 9.9% tax on incomes greater than $1 million versus just 29% who are opposed. The poll question mirrors a millionaire's tax proposal. This is all from this piece. Being introduced this legislative session by Senate Majority Leader Jamie Peterson, Democrat Seattle, and backed by Governor Bob Ferguson. When told about these numbers, Peterson said, yep, that's what our internal polling has been showing too. I just don't believe that. I don't know where they're getting their numbers. They say that it's a nonpartisan, independent survey. I've seen a million surveys like this. Man, not actually a million. That's hyperbole, but you get my point. Of people saying, no, don't tax more. Get better at spending the money that they're giving you. They have record revenue. Washington State has record revenue. Their spending has also gone up tremendously. We talked about this on Friday. I have this number here somewhere. Let me pull this up. I think back in 2000, Washington State per person spent somewhere along the lines of, here it is. In 2000, Washington State spent $7,679 per person in the state. In 2025, they spend $21,380 per person. Adjusted for inflation, that's 37% higher than it was 25 years ago. Just 25 years ago, 37% higher. Why would you give these people more of our money when they're so bad at spending it? That's the part that drives me absolutely nuts, and I don't understand that. And you have people like Jamie Peterson saying, well, the only way to get out of these problems is to keep spending more money. Don't forget, this is the same Jamie Peterson who said this, that parents don't have a right to know what their kids are doing and don't have a right to say. Remember the Parental Bill of Rights, that discussion that was happening? This was Washington State Senator Jamie Peterson. He was on Fox News, and he had this to say about little girls getting pregnant.
Young women have, if they're old enough to get pregnant, they're old enough to make their own decisions about what happens with their bodies, okay? And parents do not have the right to change that.
Parents don't have a right to know what their kids are doing. That's insane. Any parent who is a parent understands that. I assume he's a parent. I don't know he's a parent. I assume he's a parent. He can't possibly believe that for his own children. If one of them was pregnant, I'm pretty sure he'd want to know about it. But that's who's saying that everybody loves this millionaire tax, and it's going to be the best thing in the world. The other question is, do you think this is going to cause people to say, hey, you know what, Washington, just like Jeff Bezos decided to do when they passed that capital gains tax? He just pieced out and he said, hey, I'm going to save my billions. Why give them to a state that's just going to throw them away? I can spend those somewhere else. I can use those in another way. So he moves his life to Florida, which when you're pretty liquid like Jeff Bezos is, he can kind of do what he wants. So the state lost out on billions and billions of dollars because of that. So he moves. But this is interesting. The question is, if somebody makes a lot of money, are they able to take that money somewhere else so they don't have to pay it all to the state? It's just going to waste it. Or are they stuck here? Brandy Cruz actually asked State Rep Tim Ormsby. This is funny. This is a clip that we actually accidentally played earlier in the show.
Twice. We were trying to play something really fun about Seahawks.
And then we played a boring tax cut. But here it is. Now with this in context, this is where the cut was supposed to be played. Is it possible that people who create jobs, make a lot of money, will they maybe leave the state if taxes get too high? Will there just be a point where they just reach a breaking point and they say, you know what? No, you're just dipping too deep into my piggy bank, and it's not fair. And you're telling me it's not fair that I get to keep as much of my money as possible. And instead, you're taking my money. No, thank you. I can go somewhere else. But here's what Brandy Cruz asked about that.
The idea that we have capital flight, I have not seen any evidence of that
Jeff Bezos
whatsoever.
You said you've seen no evidence of tax flight or wealth flight. Forbes estimates Jeff Bezos saved $954 million in capital gains taxes by moving to Florida. So what do you mean you've seen no evidence of tax flight?
That's one example, and I believe that if you unpack that, it was for personal reasons, not business reasons or dollar reasons. That's where he originated. He returned home. He built his wealth here in this state because of the infrastructure and ability and technical expertise that we have. My understanding is his situation was personal, not based on tax liability, but for personal reasons.
I disagree with that. The guy would sell taxes he would sell stock every year. Washington State would get chunks of that once he sold it. And then they passed the capital gains and he stopped selling taxes. I'm sorry. I keep saying taxes. He stopped selling stock. Why would he do that? He eventually does move and then he sells a bunch of stock and somebody else gets the benefit from that. But why would he stop selling it when he lived in Washington State if he wasn't affected by this? And it wasn't about that. The whole thing I have no problem with taxes. Everybody should pay what they should pay. I don't think they're evil. I think they're overtaxed, especially in a state like Washington. But they don't spend your money wisely. So why should we be excited about giving them more of our money? That makes zero sense to me. All right. We got Chris Sullivan coming up next. We're going to talk about roads. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stick around. Be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Be there when the Seahawks make history. Hello! KIRO Newsradio's giving away 2 tickets to the NFC Championship game.
Oh, my word!
Sunday against LA at Lumen Field.
I can't tell you how pumped I am to see what the 12s bring.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app and click the Win tab to enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your odds.
This should be fun.
Enter daily now through Wednesday, January 21st. Contest rules at mynorthwest.com/win.
See country star Aaron Lewis and the Stateliners at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, March 24th at 8 p.m. And now an added show on March 25th. He's a multi-platinum artist whose raw lyrics and powerhouse vocals have captivated fans for decades. Now he and his band, the Stateliners, are coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Get your tickets now to see Aaron Lewis at muckleshootcasino.com.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth.
Having some certainty about your plan is definitely going to give you all the advantages.
Chris has the heart of an educator.
If you really want to do this correctly, then you get to enjoy every day of retirement like it's a Saturday. And if you don't, it's a Monday for the rest of your life.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth, Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Linwood Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Linwood Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Linwood Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Linwood Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Linwood Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandswimspasale.com.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Right now, get a free furnace with the purchase of a premium heat pump and air cleaning package at CM Heating. Start today with an always free estimate. There's no beating CM Heating for heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical. Go to cmheating.com.
Your windows and doors play a huge role in your home's efficiency and comfort. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors for windows that are up to 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards and reduce noise by up to 50%. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. The Seahawks lose a key player in their playoff push. Running back Zach Charbonnet suffered a season-ending knee injury. Coach Mike McDonald broke the news to Brock and Salk on 710 Seattle Sports.
Breaks your heart. He's going to need surgery, so he's going to be out for. He's got a good long road to come back.
Charbonnet was injured in the second quarter of Saturday's win over the 49ers. NFL Network now reports it is a torn ACL. The Hawks' path to the Super Bowl now runs through another division rival. LA Rams come to Lumen Field this Sunday. President Trump is threatening additional tariffs against 8 NATO allies who oppose his plan to take over Greenland. CBS's Olivia Rinaldi says this comes as the president prepares for an overseas trip.
President Trump tomorrow is going to head to Davos, Switzerland, where he's actually going to see some of these European allies and leaders in person, and I suspect he will be feeling their anger.
The president said on social media the United States needs Greenland for security purposes. State lawmakers are making another push to rein in social media use by kids. A bill would block platforms like TikTok and Instagram from using addictive algorithms for minors. It would also limit push notifications during school hours and overnight unless parents decide to opt in. Attorney General and the governor both support this proposal, but tech companies argue it raises constitutional issues. A 21-vehicle crash this morning left one person hurt. Tied up traffic on I-5 near the Pierce-King County line for hours. Washington State Trooper Cameron Watts.
It was originally called out as a one or two car collision that left debris in the roadway. One of our commercial vehicle enforcement officers just happened to come across it.
Watts says foggy conditions likely contributed. Night sky could put on a show tonight. Meteorologist Dana Felton with the National Weather Service says there's about a 50-50 chance we see the northern lights in the greater Seattle area.
There's been a big G4 level coronal mass ejection on the sun. We're anticipating that solar storm to hit the Earth tonight. So I'd say we've got a much better chance than normal of seeing the northern lights tonight.
You'll have a better chance of seeing them away from city lights and the farther north you go. Takes us to 1:33. We head to the real-time traffic desk now with Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. In Parkland, we've got a new crash. It's eastbound 512 at State Route 7, blocking the right lane and part of your on-ramp, causing a bit of an early merge down there. You're backed up to I-5. Here in Seattle, North 5 at Seneca, we're still dealing with the stalled semi blocking the HOV lane just prior to the express lane's entrance. We do have a tow on scene now, so this should be cleared soon. Meanwhile, we've got a bumper-to-bumper backup starting at the West Seattle Bridge, then another backup approaching the Ship Canal Bridge, where 2 left lanes are blocked for Revive I-5. It's going to take you about a half hour to clear this downtown backup. South 5, you're crowded from Lake City Way in the downtown, Linwood to Seattle, just a 20-minute commute. Over in Bellevue, North 405, we're heavy from Cold Creek Parkway up to Southeast 8th, where a collision that was blocking a couple lanes has just been moved to your right shoulder. This has westbound 90 slow from 150th, with drivers stacking up in the exit lane to 405. Further up north, South 405 in Canyon Park is heavy from Damson Road there in Alderwood down to 527 from an earlier crash. And we just cleared our crash southbound 9 at Lowell Larimer Road in Snohomish. No more backups in the area. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast now, going to see sunshine this afternoon, clear skies for several more hours, and partly cloudy tonight, but hopefully not too much to see those northern lights this evening. Right now, 43 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Very excited to have Chris Sullivan on with us right now. Chris, welcome to the show.
It's good to be here.
It's great to have you here, Chris.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Chris, we have two big topics to discuss today. We teased both of these at the start of the show, and now you're here to fulfill on that promise.
Hit me.
21-car crash in Fife.
How about
Start with that.
21-car crash this morning. And when I heard that at about 5:30 this morning, I immediately thought the worst. Because when you think a 21-car pileup, you're thinking like one of those disastrous things you see, multiple casualties, multiple fatality, maybe like something really, really, really nasty.
And it was very foggy this morning.
Super
in parts
foggy.
Yeah.
Oh, and in fact, I couldn't actually get eyes on this crash for about 2.5 hours until it got light.
Oh, because of the cams?
Because the cam were covered with fog. All I could see were all the lights. And what happened was, and we are very fortunate, these 21 cars that were involved, it was like minor damage and tires popping and things like that. What happened there was a 2-car crash going northbound. These 2 cars mixed it up pretty good, and they threw a bunch of debris all over the road. We're talking bumper-sized stuff, mufflers, so large chunks of things.
No fatalities.
No.
Good.
And so all the cars drove into that and had varying states of damage. So it wasn't like an accordion, you know, where people got...
But it's enough when you drive over, let's say you drive over a bumper, you pull over immediately.
Oh,
you're
yeah,
not,
of course.
You're not part of that crash?
No, yeah.
And then all the traffic behind you is having to slow down too. They're like, oh, what's going on here?
Yeah, so for a lot of the morning, we only had one lane of I-5 open through Fife, and it was backed up to about the Tacoma Dome. I had one listener text into me, told me it took him 90 minutes to go from the Tacoma Dome through the scene.
Can you imagine if this wasn't a holiday?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, think of that. I mean, that was about 7:30 in the morning before they started opening up some lanes.
I'm shocked it was 90 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm shocked
crazy.
It wasn't 4 hours.
Yeah, it could have been. And all the side roads were caught up in that because only one lane was open. So one person was taken to the hospital, still waiting on an update on the condition there. But yeah, when it sounded a lot worse than it turned out to be, fortunately. But the impact on the commute was massive for the people who were stuck in that.
Sure.
It was at least an hour delay for most of them. We're probably averaging it out. But yeah, that one person told him, he goes, Sully, I got on the Puyallup River Bridge. I just got to the crash. It was 90 minutes ago. I'm like, oh my Lord. Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Why is it investigations that are happening, or why is it that it takes so long to clear? 90 minutes is a long time.
Well, because there were a bunch of cars just stopped on the road, and they had 4 of the 5 lanes blocked.
How many years are we away from drone tow vehicles that fly over a site, document everything, take pictures real quick so you don't lose any of the stuff that you need for investigation purposes, and then hook up to the car, fly them
I'm not
off?
sure if that would have worked today. They wouldn't have the clearance. It was too foggy. You wouldn't have been able to fly them in anyway, and they wouldn't have been able to. As I said, I couldn't even see from my cameras.
Scratch that. Another suggestion. Infrared cameras on drone tow vehicles.
Yes, I can see it.
We can't be very far away from that.
Yeah, the problem is the FAA hasn't figured out how to work to control the airspace.
FAA, what do they know?
We got to control the airspace. We got to keep things safe up there.
Well, why are we letting people deliver packages?
Well, that is under a certain level of height, and the FAA is involved in that as well.
Well, I don't need a tow vehicle to go any higher than it takes to lift them over the median and get them off the road. That's 6 feet.
Yeah, but again, I'm not sure if I want a drone, an autonomous drone driving with a car over the top of my head as it removes it.
No, I don't want it over my head.
We'll see, where's it going to go then?
No. I'm saying you got traffic, right? It's all backed up behind you. You got the cars in the middle of the road. Everybody gives them a wide berth. You clear out. Maybe they even drop a few helmets because it's like a construction site at that point. Everybody gets away, and then they lift them up and they just dump them in the bushes.
Okay, I could see that.
And I'm just spitballing here. But
It's an idea.
But that's a genius idea.
It's an idea.
If Elon Musk is listening, I feel like this is his next business venture.
Well, I mean, I know he is.
You could solve all of traffic problems for the rest of time by having drone tow vehicles. That's the number one thing. I got stuck one time. There was a car who ran out of gas. I didn't know this at the time. I got stuck in like an hour and a half traffic because I have to cross the trestle every day.
Oh.
I'm on my way home. I can't get there. It's super late. When I was young, one of my teachers taught me, and I've carried this with me my whole life. If you're ever in traffic, you don't know what's going on up ahead. Maybe say a prayer for them because maybe they're in a bad situation. Somebody's hurt. Or every time you see an ambulance go by, say a little prayer for whoever's in the ambulance. Just good advice. People should take that. But I get onto the trestle. I'm there for like 2 hours. And the whole time I'm thinking like godly thoughts about these people. Then I get up on the trestle. Some lady ran out of gas. And she's just sitting there in the middle of the road. And there's nobody even out there helping her. And I'm wondering, why didn't somebody just pull up? Maybe in the future it's a drone vehicle. Or why didn't somebody just pull up like a cop or something, get on an Everett, just like pop right up there, and just shove her across the trestle? Why don't they do that?
They could.
They should.
And they can.
2 hours I'm waiting behind this lady who ran out of gas.
Well, yeah, at that point, it is possible.
And I wasn't saying God bless her at that point.
At that point, it is possible that if the State Patrol wants to do that, and they can, the person can refuse. Because of the damage
you got a lot of guts.
I'm just saying that they have the right to not be pushed.
Another suggestion for another business for somebody: car plows. Car plows. Like a soft thing. Think of like an extra tire, right?
I'm with you.
Like old-fashioned trains for cows. You put it on the front of a police cruiser. It's an inflatable thing. Pushes the car softly like a pillow across. No damage. You're clearing the car off the road. These are great ideas.
No, they are great ideas.
If Elon Musk is listening, this is another great business when he's done going to space.
Yeah. I mean, the owner of the car has the right to say, I really don't want your...
What kind of a soulless person would turn away from a pillow? Not going to damage the car.
I'm not in that situation.
Would you turn it down?
Probably not. I would want them to kind of push me out of the way as fast as they could. Those are good ideas, but it still is up to the driver to say yay or nay.
Okay. Well, those are copyrighted mine. Nobody steal them. Okay. I'm going to be developing those privately.
Patent pending.
Patent pending, yes. All right. Speaking of traffic and crazy things, we have the Revive I-5 thing happening.
Oh, yeah.
We have the Ship Canal Bridge that is being fixed. In order to keep the traffic flowing, according to WashDOT, they have the express lanes permanently affixed to be heading
northbound
24/7. 24/7. And you have asked them in the past, hey guys, we got a lot of people commuting downtown coming from north. Why don't you just open them early in the morning? And WashDOT said what to you?
WashDOT has said for a variety of reasons they don't think that's a good thing to do. One, they say it would be time consuming to do the switch a little later in the morning. Not sure I buy that one as much as I do the next idea, which is that if there were a crash, say on I-5 between where the lanes are restricted up to the Ship Canal Bridge, you would basically shut down all northbound traffic because there's no other way. So in the case of an accident or an emergency, they want to be able to continue to have northbound access should something go wrong. So I understand that. What I don't understand is why they haven't just tried our idea of maybe opening the lanes like normal at 5 a.m.
Couple hours.
And keeping them open until about 7:30. Just try it one day. And if it turns out all hell breaks loose and it's a terrible idea, at least we know that and we can say, okay, WashDOT tried this. Because it's not just me saying this. It's our listeners. It's people who drive this every day. Now Councilmember Reagan Dunn on the King County Council is asking why we can't do this. Seattle Times wrote an article, quoting me, by the way, last week, talking about this. I understand some of the reasoning, but I kind of think we might want to try this. Because what we've seen is, as you mentioned, most of the cars going into Seattle in the morning on northbound I-5 are going to Seattle.
Yeah.
They're not really going through. Because of that, we've seen 20-minute faster trips on northbound I-5 with this configuration, but we've seen 40 to 45-minute delays going southbound. So the biggest impact is on that southbound direction. I would like to see them try it. I understand some of their reasoning, but a little bit more pressure. I'm just me. Reagan Dunn's a council member.
Hey, you know what?
He gets it done.
Now you're talking to the Jake and Spike show.
Yeah, so
this is where people come to get things done.
Yeah, just try it. And if it's horribly, horribly wrong, blame me. but try it. I'd
Listen,
like them
it can't
to try
be any
it.
worse than the hours and hours and hours of traffic that people are going to be sitting in now every day for the next 2 years.
But I can't argue with the safety aspect of this.
I can. Get a tow drone. It's problem solved. Chris Sullivan, thanks for coming in, man. We appreciate it.
I like it.
We got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
The Closing Bell is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
Be there when the Seahawks make history. KIRO Newsradio's giving away 2 tickets to the NFC Championship game.
Oh, my word!
Sunday against LA at Lumen Field.
I can't tell you how pumped I am to see what the 12s bring.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app and click the Win tab to enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your odds.
This should be fun.
Enter daily now through Wednesday, January 21st. Contest rules at mynorthwest.com/win.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's cars with a K to donate your car today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
For almost 50 years, over 90,000 homeowners have trusted Home Comfort Alliance, including me, John Curley here. If comfort and energy savings matter to you, now is the time. Save up to $2,000 on a new Lennox heating and cooling system. Home Comfort Alliance will replace your system with one tailored to your home's layout and energy optimization. Visit homecomfortalliance.com to save up to $2,000 on a Lennox and schedule a free consultation. For heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical, call the Comfort People. Home Comfort Alliance.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Logan Fury did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he bought a mini treadmill. Is walking on it during video conference calls more distracting than he thought? Yes. And is that because he overestimated his foot-eye coordination? Definitely. But it's Logan's savings, and if he wants to burn calories and any chance at a promotion, we say, good for you, Logan. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Every season is a little bit different here in Washington, but I'll tell you what, the amount of rain never seems to change in the winter, and we have sure gotten a ton of it this season. All that rain, all that water, it's all got to go somewhere. And if it makes its way into your crawl space, that's when it can create all sorts of problems, including real structural damage, which could really affect your home. But more importantly, for the health of your family, the water in that crawl space could create toxic mold, and that has serious health repercussions. Thankfully, we have Crawl Pros. They can come in and keep your crawl space dry, install a sump pump and drainage, and reroute that water back out and away from your home. They'll also take care of any mold that may have been created. Don't take the risk. It's too important. The best way to learn if you have any water is to ask Crawl Pros to visit your home and inspect your crawl space for free. Crawl Pros will go where you don't want to. So if you're worried about water damage, mold, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
Start the new year taking active liver supplements from New Nordic. Online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
Guys, your New Year goals start now. Get limited time savings on our most popular treatments at Revive Men's Health. Visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com to see if you qualify to save hundreds.
Be there when the Seahawks make history. KIRO Newsradio's giving away 2 tickets to the NFC Championship game.
Oh, my word!
Sunday against LA at Lumen Field.
I can't tell you how pumped I am to see what the 12s bring.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app and click the Win tab to enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your odds.
This should be fun.
Enter daily now through Wednesday, January 21st. Contest rules at mynorthwest.com/win.
All right, welcome back to the show. I'm going to admit something that I'm not proud of about myself. You might do this too, Laura. I don't know if you do this. You know GLP-1s, weight loss medications, Ozempic, Wegovy, stuff like that. When you see people out and about, I always have this initial thought, especially if somebody's lost a dramatic amount of weight recently. Like I see them a year ago and they're heavier, and then I always see them recently and I go, oh, did they use one of those weight loss drugs? I'm not fully criticizing them. I understand why people do them. If I was a heavier person and I couldn't get the weight off, they make a lot. I totally understand why somebody would do that. But I do wonder to myself, I go like, did somebody use that? My wife was making a funny joke about this because we recently went to her high school reunion this last summer. And she was saying that in anticipation of going, she goes, well, now that everybody can use these GLP-1s, she doesn't know if somebody's made great eating choices for a long time and, basically denied themselves delicious things, or if they've just gotten on this thing and dropped a ton of weight, so I don't know if that says too much about my wife, but I do judge a little bit when I see the GLP-1 things because I do question how healthy they are. I don't know the long-term health benefits of these things. I know that you lose a lot of weight fast, but I've seen a lot of stories also about how people have to get off them because they have pretty bad experiences, all these different things. Anyway, I have 2 stories about GLP-1s that I find, obviously they're related because they're both GLP-1 stories, but they're kind of interesting. One of the unintended benefits of all this weight loss, because you have this magic drug now where people can just lose a ton of weight, is Jeffries Research Services just did this investigation into how much money major airline carriers are going to save from all of their skinny customers now. Because they used to have to cart around these people who are a lot heavier, and now they're losing all this weight, and they say they're going to save, listen to this, if weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy lead to a 10% slimmer society, analysts found that would translate to a total airline passenger weight declining by 2%. And that means 1.5% in fuel savings, plus a boost to earnings, whatever. I don't know how that works out. But they're going to save on fuel because people aren't as fat anymore. And this is interesting because they say just in the top 4 carriers in the U.S., which are American, Delta, Southwest, and United, they're going to save collectively $580 million just because their customers are skinnier this year than they were last year, which is big savings. And speaking of big savings, this was a clip. We've had this for a couple of days. We haven't had an opportunity to play it yet, and now we do. Oprah Winfrey was on The View, and Oprah Winfrey, I don't know if you guys remember this, but her entire career has talked about her weight loss journey, all that stuff. I don't know why people care about that, but they do. She's talked about weight loss, and so there was this big partnership that she made with Weight Watchers. I think it was back in like 2014 or 15, somewhere around there. And the whole idea of Weight Watchers is portion control. So Weight Watchers would, they would say like, hey, you're not supposed to eat food on a plate that's bigger than like this size plate. And if you eat on smaller all these little tricks, like if you eat on a plate that this size, it's going to be, you just can't fit that much food on it. You're going to be skinnier because you're not going to eat like a giant plate. And they have the point system. So like a piece of chicken is where, I don't know what the point system is. Everything is assigned a point value, and you get so many points a day. And you can't go over those points. So if you want to use all your points on one piece of pie, God bless you, but you're going to be hungry for the rest of the day. Or you can eat a bunch of, roast chicken, and you can have more food that's better point value for you, and a yogurt. And then there's like foods that don't have any points, which are like fruits and vegetables, I think, are no points. So that's what she was doing. She was with Weight Watchers. And then these GLP-1s come out. And Oprah makes this big announcement after years, like a decade almost, I think, of being on the board. I think she was a shareholder in Weight Watchers. A lot, like a big percentage. She had to sell all her shares and step down from the board because she goes, you know what, actually, I'm a GLP-1 person now. And this was her on The View just a couple of days ago, talking about using these GLP-1s and what she's now learned about them. Tell me if you think this sounds accurate.
All these years, I thought I was overeating. I was standing there with all the food noise, what I ate, what I should eat, how many calories was that, how long was it going to take. I thought that was because of me and my fault. Yeah. Now I understand that if you carry the obesity gene, if that is what you have, that is what makes you overeat. You don't overeat and become obese. Right. Obesity causes you to overeat. Right. Obesity causes you to have all of that food noise. And what the GLP-1s have done for me, and I know a number of other people, is to quiet that noise.
Yeah. So she's saying her obesity causes her to eat. It's not her lack of self-control. All right, a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
One win away from the Super Bowl.
You stacked plays. It started with a 95-yard.
Shaheed to the end zone. Holy catfish.
We play our style of play. Games can look like this often.
The table is set for the NFC Championship game. Sunday at Lumen Field against the Rams. Kickoff at 3:30.
Job's not done. We're going to do the same thing.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle and the home of the Seahawks. KIRO Newsradio.
An organized home is a happy home and a happy homeowner. John Curley here. Closets by Design made me and my home happy. Experience the quality and backing of a national brand with friendly local Seattle service. From booking the appointment to a free in-home consult to installation day, Closets by Design will leave you wowed and clutter-free. Right now, get up to 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule today.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Duke's Mayo.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. NORAD, a joint U.S.-Canada military organization for aerospace monitoring and defense, says on social media that military aircraft will arrive in Greenland for long-planned activities. It says this activity has been coordinated with the Kingdom of Denmark, and the government of Greenland has also been informed. It comes as President Trump escalates the Greenland standoff with allies, linking it to his perceived Nobel Peace Prize snub, threatening new tariffs, and appearing to hint that he's still willing to use the U.S. military to achieve his objective. More from CBS's Erica Brown.
President Trump insists his push to acquire Greenland is driven by national security concerns. But in a message sent to Norway's prime minister, the president said in part, quote, "Considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace, but can now think about what is good and proper for the United States of America."
I'm Vicki Barker at the Foreign Desk. All 8 nations threatened with the tariffs have repeated their support for Greenland remaining part of Denmark. To Britain's Keir Starmer,
the use of tariffs against allies is completely wrong.
But Starmer also saying only calm and respectful dialogue will resolve this issue.
Fans head to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens ahead of the college football playoff national championship game featuring the University of Miami Hurricanes and Indiana Hoosiers. The Hurricanes fan base, including this fan, say that they are ready to claim the national title.
You know, it's our love, man. It's our love. So this means a lot for us, and we're just going to finish it strong.
The federal government is appealing a federal judge's ruling that immigration officers in Minnesota cannot detain or tear gas peaceful protesters who are not obstructing authorities, including if they are observing agents. Government attorneys have argued that the officers are acting within their legal authority to enforce immigration laws and protect themselves. Loyola Law professor Lori Levinson.
The order says very clearly that the ICE agents cannot stop or detain drivers and passengers in vehicles where there's no reasonable articulable suspicion to do so.
Communities across the U.S. have held parades, including in Los Angeles and Washington, D.C. There have also been panel discussions and service projects in honor of the 40th anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Some have used the holiday to honor MLK Jr., but also speak out about the government's immigration crackdown. The band Green Day will open the 60th Super Bowl with the anniversary ceremony celebrating generations of MVPs. This is CBS News.
Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
one win away from the Super Bowl. Now a key Seahawk is out for the playoffs. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, this report brought to us by Northwest Hope and Healing. In the U District, South 5 at Ravenna, look out for collision on your left shoulder. It is real close to sticking out in your left lane. If you're headed this way, it might behoove you to move out of that left lane. You're backed up in the North Gate where we have another collision on your left shoulder approaching 85th. All added up, Linwood to Seattle has about a 10-minute delay right now, taking you 25 minutes. Northbound, we cleared that earlier stall at the express lanes entrance, but that backup remains solid approaching the West Seattle Bridge and really continues past the Ship Canal Bridge. Plan on about a half hour to make it through downtown Seattle right now. In Renton, southbound 405 at State Route 169, got a new collision in the HOV lane. Westbound 90 remains heavy from 150th over to 405 due to this backup on North 405 through Bellevue. Everywhere else is looking pretty good. Join Northwest Hope and Healing for Cork, Fork, and Support. An afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration. Get your tickets now for January 31st at nwhopeandhealing.org. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. This just in. The man connected to the disappearance of a 21-year-old Bremerton woman is now in custody. Kitsap County Sheriff's Office says 21-year-old Leroy Nichols is a transient sex offender. Investigators say he is suspected of luring Hannah Davis from her home Saturday night. Sheriff's Office says she has the mental capacity of a 10-year-old and is now safe. We are reaching out to the Sheriff's Office for more information. After a dominant win on Saturday night,
your Seattle Seahawks are moving on to the NFC Championship.
Seahawks announced today one of their running backs is now done for the playoffs. Zach Charbonnet suffered a season-ending knee injury against San Francisco. Coach Mike McDonald broke the news to Brock and Salk on 710 Seattle Sports.
Heart goes out to him, so prayers goes out to Sharbs, and we love him, man.
Team says he will undergo surgery. The NFL Network reports Charbonnet suffered a torn ACL. Next up, the Hawks host the LA Rams on Sunday. Winner goes to the Super Bowl. One person is dead after a stolen car slammed into a power pole at more than 100 miles an hour over the weekend in Tacoma.
A state trooper tried to stop a stolen car early Sunday morning at southbound SR 509 and Port of Tacoma Road. They say the driver took off and lost control, crashing near 21st and Pacific. They say the car was going about 110 miles an hour when it hit the pole. Including the driver, there were 3 people in the car. The front seat passenger died. Another person in the back seat was badly hurt, as was the driver, who faces several charges, including vehicular homicide. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Woodland Park Zoo was welcoming 2 little big cats. The female South African lion cubs were born last week. They came about 9 hours apart on January 14th. This is the first lion birth at the zoo since 2014. Right now, mom and cubs are resting up in a private maternity den. Now to your weather update. We are looking at clear skies, plenty of sunshine today, and a chance at some northern lights later on tonight in the greater Seattle area. The sky should be mostly clear. Right now, 43 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. Lots of great stuff. By golly, we've gotten a lot of text messages. We were talking about this tax proposal by Governor Ferguson. He wants to tax millionaires because he hates millionaires, I guess. He wants to tax millionaires 9.9% if you make $1 million. Second, you make over $1 million in salary, boom. He basically wants to take $100,000 extra from you. Which is unconstitutional in our state. We have so many text messages on this. We're going to read some of these on the text line. We do a thing at the end of the end of the show every day where we read a bunch of your text messages. We have so many of these. These are great. I want to start with one of these, though, and then we'll get into some other stuff, but this is a really good one, and I think it sets up this question really well. Is this right to tax people just because they've been more successful in life? Is it going to fix all the problems? No, of course not. It's not. This is what Governor Ferguson said. Let me back up just a half second. Governor Ferguson said he wants a millionaire's tax. He says, my proposal for a millionaire's tax creates the biggest tax break for small business owners in state history and expands the working family's tax credit. Let's seize this opportunity this session to make our tax system more fair. That's what he tweeted out. And then this is what he said about the millionaire's tax in the State of State address recently.
Our system takes too much in taxes from hardworking families and not enough from the wealthy. Washington families whose income is in the bottom 20% pay a whopping 13.8% of their total income in taxes, while those whose income is in the top 1% pay only 4.1% of their income. That's not fair, that's not right, and that's why I'm calling for something truly historic, a millionaire's tax.
Boo! Boo! Don't you wish somebody was sitting there in wherever he gave, I assume at the state capitol, sitting in the back, just like in Princess Bride? Boo! No! We don't like this. Bad idea. I guess that would be considered rude, but I would like it. Okay, Ron in Issaquah texted this in just a few minutes ago, and I think he's spot on. He says, is it possible that the millionaire's tax could have an effect on the pro players and coaches, et cetera, as well as college, maybe colleges wanting to stay here, college players? Is that what he means? I guess, yeah, because college players make so much money after that NIL thing. Is it possible the millionaire's tax could have an effect on pro players, coaches, and college players wanting to stay here? 100%. Yes, absolutely. Why wouldn't it? Anybody who makes a lot of money, they want to keep as much money as they possibly can. Now, it's a little different in sports because you get drafted onto a team, and to the extent that you have a say in where you end up playing. I always feel so bad for guys who end up going to really, really highly taxed states. It's tricky in pro sports because you make your money in different states. So let's say you're playing for the Seahawks. Well, sometimes you're going to go and play in Los Angeles, and sometimes you're going to go and you're going to play in Carolina, and you're going to have to play against whoever, and you're going to pay taxes for those games in those states. So for their CPAs, it's probably a nightmare. But yeah, a lot of their money that's made in Washington State, they're going to have to pay taxes on that at a higher rate because yeah, these guys are making more than $1 million a year, and you're gall darn right they're going to take offense to that, wouldn't you? If you made $1 million, this is a question I've asked Spike before. Like it's all relative. $1 million seems like a lot of money to somebody who doesn't make $1 million. Like it certainly seems like a lot of money to me. If you make $1 million a year, I think, man, this person's been very successful. They've done a lot of things in life. They've figured out how to make $1 million. God bless them. I want to know them, and I want to know their secret. That's what I want to know. My first instinct is not, it's unfair that they have $1 million. I want to take their money. Not at all. I want to get their advice. Like, what did they do in life that they're making $1 million? And maybe they're putting too much time into work. I don't know. Maybe their personal life is a wreck. Whatever. Money's not everything. But my last thought is I want to take more of their money because we're spending so poorly in our state, which is what we're doing. Washington State spends horribly. Spending is up 37% since 2000. Per citizen, they spend, we had these numbers earlier, and I don't know. I don't have them off the top of my head. I can find them. What is this spending? Up, I think it was like $7,000 a person. Yeah, $7,679 per person in 2000. It's now $21,380 per person. Adjusted for inflation, that's 37% higher today than it was 25 years ago. So they're spending basically 40% more per person, adjusted for inflation, than what they used to be able to do in the year 2000. Who was what? Was that Gary Locke? Was he the governor at the time? I forget. And then it was Patty Murray, and then it was Inslee, and then it was Ferguson. I think that's right. So they're spending more. Why do they need more of our money? Why can't they just stop? Why can't first they stop spending more? Wouldn't that be better? I'm not against taxes. I pay my taxes begrudgingly, just like you all do, every year, and it's almost tax season. I just got an email the other day saying, hey, by the way, W-2s got sent out, so get on it. Nobody likes paying taxes, but you got to do it. But a tax, income tax like this in our state, if you get past the unconstitutional part, like in Seattle, Seattle's going to be the highest taxed city in the nation because they have a lot of huge local taxes. Seattle has the Washington Cares tax, the Seattle Housing tax, the Seattle Jumpstart tax. all those things add up with the millionaire's tax at 9%. That would be 18.37% in Seattle. Now, you're telling me that you live in Seattle proper and somebody's suddenly going to start taxing you 18%? You're not going to go, hey, you know what? Bellevue's pretty nice. I could move over across the water. I could save an extra $100,000 a year. I think a lot of people would take that opportunity. But we'll see what happens. All right. Where are those taxes going? That's the next question. Where are those taxes going? Where are they going to spend that money? Every time somebody talks about taxes, I get worried that people are going to go, oh, this is so boring. Taxes are so boring. Well, they are, but I think they're hiding behind how boring it is so that you stop looking and you stop caring, and then they start doing stupid things with your money. And our job is to protect you and keep more money in your pocket. At least that's what I feel like part of my job is. The Center Square, which is a website that you can go and you can read stuff at. They've got some good articles. They just had an article about this new supplemental transportation budget proposal by our governor, Bob Ferguson, for this year. He wants to borrow $2.1 billion for maintenance and preservation of roads and bridges, which in the wake of those storms kind of makes sense. You think to yourself, oh, okay, yeah, we want to make sure we're preserving our roads. According to our own transportation statistics, 70% of the roads in Washington are deemed acceptable. Nationally, that number's about 81%. So they have been neglecting the roads in Washington State, apparently. I don't know how, because we spend more on these projects than almost anybody else in the country. But whatever. They need to fix the roads. I don't want to see landslides. I certainly don't want to see bridges fall apart, as we have seen. So they want to borrow $2.1 billion for maintenance and preservation of roads. But then Center Square points out when you start digging into these numbers, what they actually want to spend the money on, yes, some of it is for road stuff, road projects. They also want to spend it on, take a guess. You can text us, 888-973-5476. It's a very Seattle thing to do. Bike lanes. They want to spend it on bike lanes. What? What? In the middle of all this, we're deeply in debt. They're not talking about tearing up the Constitution so they can tax people more that they shouldn't be taxing more so they can add bike lanes? This is from the Urbanist blog. This is all in the Center Square, but they quoted the Urbanist blog here. Our preservation program will include investments that close those bike and pedestrian network gaps that will result in money being spent on those facilities as opposed to stretching the money out to do more pavement and more bridge work. I think that's consistent with taking a multimodal approach. Again, a quarter of Washington residents don't drive, they say. We need facilities in a state of good repair as well. I guarantee you, 25% of Washingtonians are not biking to work every day. So the odds that they're spending more money per bike project than they should, I think, are pretty strong. And I wish they wouldn't. Let's get the roads in order. Let's fix the bridges. Let's make sure people aren't waiting 2 hours in traffic. Think of how much money we're spending on trains right now. Bikes and trains are kind of like in the same space in my head. Think about how much money in our area we're spending on light rail. Originally, it was pitched as like a $50 billion project that was approved by the voters back in 2016. And now they say to complete the thing, it's going to be over or around $200 billion. And at capacity, if it does what they say it can do by their own numbers, they're hoping that they can move as much as 2% of the driving population onto those trains. 2%. On average, each household in our area is taxed about $1,700 per year that goes to the light rail. Are you getting $1,700 per year out of value out of light rail? I doubt it, but we'll see. All right, you can text us, 888-973-5476. All right, I want to play you a couple of cuts. These are totally non-Seattle stories, but they are very interesting to me. AI. What is AI going to do to jobs? We're seeing all of this stuff now about how AI is replacing everything and everybody's scared of AI. There was this really interesting clip going around over the weekend of Ben Affleck. They're on a movie tour. Him and Matt Damon just came out with a movie on Netflix. And they were talking about the process of using AI in film. And it's not quite as scary. According to Ben Affleck, it's not quite as scary as people are making it out to be because he had some really good points. He basically says, like, AI kind of shoots for average, and when you're making movies, you're shooting for the best of the best. So he doesn't think it's going to be replacing people like writers. It can be a useful tool, but it's not going to like end a ton of jobs. It will take up a lot of jobs, though. I mean, it will make things easier, which will mean redundancies, obviously. Another guy who has some really interesting insights into AI is Mike Rowe, who I love. Dirty Jobs, Mike Rowe. He's got a podcast that's also really good. He's a huge proponent of the trade industries and how important it is that not be neglected as a really, really valuable future career for lots of people. It pays well. You can be your own boss. Maybe you get into a great union. And best of all, these are not jobs that are going to be swallowed up by AI because they can't be. You can't call AI to come out and fix a pipe. Mike Rowe talked about this. I'm going to play just a little clip from this, but it's really interesting. And text me if you think AI is going to replace these jobs.
We've been telling kids for 15 years to code. Learn to code, we said. Yeah, well, AI is coming for the coders. They're not coming for the welders. They're not coming for the plumbers. They're not coming for the steam fitters or the pipe fitters or the HVAC. They're not coming for the electricians. Not a week goes by where I don't get a phone call from somebody like the Blue Forge Alliance, who oversees our maritime industrial base. These are our submarines, folks, right? Things go hypersonic, little sideways with China, Taiwan, whatever. Our aircraft carriers are no longer the point of the spear. They're vulnerable. Our submarines matter. And these guys have a pinch point because they can't find welders and electricians to get them built.
I got to just pause it here real fast. I have some friends who are welders, also in HVAC, also a bunch of truck driver friends. These jobs are in high demand and they pay really, really good money. And it's interesting because a few years back, and I imagine this probably lines up with the government's push to get into the college loan business and to guarantee all the college loans. That's when college got so expensive. But remember they were pushing everybody to college? They were saying, you got to go to college, you got to go to college. I have nothing against college. I went, I graduated. It was fine. But was I forced to take some ridiculous classes that I absolutely didn't need? Yes. Did I spend way more than I should have on college? Yes. And when I graduated, did I have some people graduate with 6 figures of debt, which is insane to me. I was in the 5-figure range. But still, it took a while to climb out of that. I think it took me 7 years after I graduated before, maybe 5, 6, before I had my college loans paid off. But that's like with my wife and I both paying into our loans, doing it as much as we could to try to get those things paid down so they didn't haunt you for the rest of your life. But I have friends who work in these trade positions, these trade fields. Welding, truck driving is a great one, where they need really good qualified people and the jobs pay phenomenally and you can be your own boss. In a lot of these, you can be your own boss, which is, for a lot of people, that's it. You want to set your own schedule. You want to make the money. You want to make those decisions. Those are great industries. That wasn't pushed for a long time. It was kind of looked at as like a secondary option. Like, oh, you're going to trade school. And now you look at those guys, they were like prophetic or something. They knew something the rest of us didn't because they graduated. They didn't even have to, they went to their different trade schools. And when they finished, they weren't finishing $100,000 in debt. They had a job lined up. And a couple years later, they're buying houses in their 20s. And everybody else is, I see stories every single day about people who are in their 40s and 50s still paying off their student loan debt. Spike was telling me about somebody he knows whose student loan debt is more now than it was when she graduated 20 years ago, which is insane.
Where are they? They said. We've looked everywhere. Do you know? I said, yeah, I know where they are. They're in the 8th grade, man. They're in the 8th grade. And the same thing, the automotive industry needs 80,000 collision repair and technicians. Energy, I don't even know what the number is. I hear 300, I hear 500,000. Everywhere, there is a clear and present freak out going on right now.
Right now. All right, I'm trying to remember the name. We talked to a local school. Do you remember the name of that, Laura, by chance? Remember that trade school that we had on with us, and it's for high schoolers, and they send kids there?
Oh, it was a coalition. So they work with trade schools all across the entire state.
Too.
Yeah. Yep.
So phenomenal. We'll find the name of that. And They welcome, and they're running out of space because there is a shift now. People are realizing there is great value in these jobs that AI can't replace. And they're great jobs. And they pay good money. They're satisfying. You're helping people. Just imagine how satisfying that must be. I was stupid one time, and I poked a hole through one of my walls because I was trying to secure a dresser, and I didn't properly find a stud. I had a stud finder. I put it on my chest, and I did the thing that every guy does when found one. But I didn't put it on the wall, and I poked a hole in the wall, and I hit a pipe, sprayed across the room. I had a plumber there within an hour, and he did everything that he needed to do to get that pipe fixed. But I was SOL until he got there. And I was so grateful that he showed up with the expertise to do that job, because I could not have done that on my own.
It was the Washington Skills Center Association. We talked to Lynette Brower
That's it. Washington Skills Center Association. Yeah, fantastic.
They need a good acronym.
Yeah.
But look them up.
Look them up. Check them out. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Luke Ducey coming up next. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
One win away from the Super Bowl.
You stacked plays. It started with a 95-yard. Shaheed to the end zone. Holy catfish.
We play our style of play. Games can look like this often.
The table is set for the NFC Championship game. Sunday at Lumen Field against the Rams. Kickoff at 3:30.
Job's not done.
We're going to do the same thing.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle and the home of the Seahawks. KIRO News Radio.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Linwood Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Linwood Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Linwood Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Linwood Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Linwood Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Linwood Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor.
Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la. This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
How about a New Year's resolution where the commitment takes just one day and the results can last a lifetime? Address years of hair loss like I did with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment. Using your own natural hair, Advanced Hair can restore your bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning. All backed by Advanced Hair's guarantee. Celebrate the new year with a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Well, the wet, chilly weather has certainly arrived. It's Mike Salk here, and if your attic and crawl space are well insulated, your home should be fine. Should feel cozy and warm without your furnace having to work overtime. But you'd be surprised to learn how many homes in Western Washington lack insulation in these spaces. It's why you call Crawl Pros. If you're feeling cold drafts or seeing that heating bill spike, now's a great time to learn if you got anything going on behind that crawl space or attic by calling Crawl Pros. They'll come out to your house just like they did to mine, do the corner-to-corner inspection. In my case, they found the problem, showed me the pictures, and then they got it all fixed. Now, if they do discover your home is under or improperly insulated, they'll show you all the utility rebates that are available to help you get the work done correctly. Like if you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could get a rebate to cover up to 95% of the cost of the insulation job. If you're worried anything is going on in your crawl space or attic, including critters, water intrusion, mold, plumbing issues, anything, call Crawl Pros and schedule your free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
Save $600 on windows and $1,500 on doors at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Enjoy easy zero down, zero payments, and zero interest financing for 12 months, plus a lifetime installation warranty. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com today.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. President Trump is threatening additional tariffs against 8 NATO allies who oppose his plan to take over Greenland. His warnings coming as the U.S. and Canada now plan military exercises there.
NORAD, which is the U.S.-Canadian command, says its aircraft will soon arrive at a base in Greenland, and they will be supporting long-planned activities, according to a post on X, which goes on to say that activity has been coordinated with Denmark, and the government of Greenland has been informed. NORAD's mission includes preventing air attacks against North America.
The president has said the U.S. needs Greenland for security purposes. Teammates and coaches are rallying around Seahawks running back Zach Charbonnet, who is now out for the year with a knee injury. Coach Mike McDonald broke the news on 710 Seattle Sports, telling Brock and Salk.
This guy is the epitome of what it means to be a Seahawk. I mean, absolute tough as nails, great teammate, great human being.
Charbonnet will need to have surgery. Traffic was just a nightmare on I-5 North in Pierce County this morning. Started with a crash near the Pierce-King County line. Trooper Cameron Watts tells us.
That escalated to 20 cars being involved. And as a result, there were multiple vehicles that were disabled in the roadway.
Final tally, 20 vehicles involved. 1 person sent to the hospital and 3 others also hurt. Well, it is known as the Driver Privacy Act, and the bill gets its first hearing in Olympia tomorrow. Details from KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
Senate Bill 6002 would put regulations on automated license plate readers, commonly known as flock cameras. Most of the time, the data is retained for 30 days, but this bill would shorten the window to 72 hours. The ACLU of Washington supports that, saying the strongest way to protect data from falling into the wrong hands is to make sure it's deleted regularly and as soon as possible. But the Association of Washington Cities says that shorter time window may hamper some criminal investigations. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Be sure to look up tonight. The northern lights could be visible as a solar storm is set to hit the Earth, says Dana Felton with the National Weather Service.
There's still a little bit of iffiness on when the solar storm's going to actually hit the Earth as far as specific time, but sometime this evening.
Get away from city lights for your best chance of seeing the lights. They will be more visible also the farther north you go. Let's go now to the traffic desk at 2:32. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. Home Comfort Alliance has our update. It's starting to get a little busy out there, especially heading into Seattle. South 5 at Ravenna there in the U District. Collision is blocking your left lane. You're stacked up approaching Northgate Way. And we've got about a 35-minute commute right now between Linwood and Seattle. North 5 on the Collector Distributor. Looks like we've got an new collision approaching James Street. The main line is packed approaching the West Seattle Bridge up to the express lanes entrance. A brief break before entering that Revive I-5 backup as you approach the Ship Canal Bridge. All added up, plan on about a half hour to make it through downtown Seattle. Once you get past the Ship Canal, though, you're all clear. Over in Factoria, westbound 90 at 150 at the collision blocks 2 right lanes. This is right at the end of the 148th Street on-ramp, and there's about a solid mile and a half backup right now. Up in Canyon Park, North 405 past 527, a stall blocks that right shoulder lane. You're going to start to slow just past 195th. Bellevue to Linwood is at 25 minutes. In Renton, both directions of 405 are packed through the S-curves from an earlier crash that just cleared. For nearly 50 years, 90,000 homeowners have trusted Home Comfort Alliance. Right now, save up to $2,000 on new heating and cooling systems. Call the Comfort People. HomeComfortAlliance.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
We are in a dry pattern for this week. Morning fog, afternoon clearing, and highs in the low 50s. Right now, 48 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. Very excited to have KIRO Radio's own Luke Ducey join us right now. Welcome to the show, Luke.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Luke, you're doing something kind of neat. I came in this morning. I saw you had a big 12-man flag. We're going to post a picture here in just a second. A big 12-man flag. People are signing it. You're taking a little video, getting some personal stories about what it means to people. What is this that you're doing?
Yeah, I got this idea years and years and years ago. So the first time that we went to the Super Bowl, we won. It's fantastic. Next year, we went back-to-back, right? And I was thinking with a couple of colleagues at a different station, as a journalist, what kind of unique stories can we tell? Everyone, 12 flags are pretty, 12s, and we're all 12s, and we love being fans, and we call ourselves the 12s, and 12 flags are pretty cool, and I've got one. And, what if we had a flag and people, signed it or something? Is that stupid? Does that sound weird?
No.
So then we went on a trip for that Super Bowl with a different company altogether, down to the Super Bowl, and stopped along the way, and we had a giant flag that and I thought, let's just see what happens, right? And put out a bunch of markers and said, hey, folks, good to see you, blah, blah, blah. Would you mind signing this, 12 flag? And these are different clubs from city to city, from between here and Phoenix, that are part of, they have their own Seahawk fan chapter club.
Sure.
And before you knew it, the thing just was out of control. And by the time we got down to Phoenix, there were so many signatures on this flag. There's so many people had heard about it along the way, because we've been doing reports along the way. They couldn't wait to sign this thing. And I tell you, and I'm looking at it through the windows right now, and you're looking at it on the YouTube feed right now as well. It's just a 3x5 nylon flag.
$10, whatever.
Well, a little more than that. But it takes on it's something, man. It takes on its own meaning. It's more than just this fabric 1 and 2 on this blue background. It becomes, people own it. There's ownership. It's almost like they're signing not just their name and a little message, but it's like they're signing a contract with the Seahawks, saying, I am one of you. I believe in you. I'm part of this team. And all those memories together kind of, I know this is a little, I don't know, cheesy or cliche, but they become woven into that fabric of the flag,
Sure.
but also woven into the fabric of the city and of this team,
It's fun because I wasn't a massive Seahawks fan growing up. I was a huge Mariners fan, and maybe it's because, I just grew up playing baseball. It's not like the Seahawks were crushing everybody when I was growing up here. I mean, they're doing great now, but it just wasn't a huge part of my life. And then I started getting into football when Pete Carroll came into the city, and something about his excitement that he brought to the team, I felt like kind of changed the feeling of watching the sport a little bit. At least for me, I was in my early 20s. They started to do great, kind of a bandwagon thing probably. They started to win. That was easier to watch. And my family then started, who never grew up big football fans. We had always been huge baseball fans, but we kind of started watching all the games. And the Seahawks are winning, and they're winning, and then the Legion of Boom. And it just kind of builds on itself. And then we're a massive Seahawks household now. I mean, way more football than we are baseball. I mean, we're getting back into baseball because the Mariners are so great again. But we have all of these memories from that season that you're talking about right now, when they won the Super Bowl. We watched every single game together at my parents' house because they have kind of the big space and the big TV, and all their kids are grown, and we all have kids now too. And we all met back there on Sundays, occasionally a Monday or Thursday, whenever. And we'd all meet back there and we'd watch these games together. And those are like core memories for me now.
Yeah.
Those I will have for the rest of my life.
Yeah, so just think about what you just told me right there, because if I asked you, hey, what happened on second and 4 in the second part of the first quarter of that one game you were all sitting together watching, you couldn't tell me that.
Couldn't tell you.
No, right. But you could probably tell me what food you ate and what you guys talked about and who was
100%.
there.
Yeah. My mom sent me a video the other day. She's like, "Hey, I just found these," and because we're now all watching, we're getting together again.
Isn't that great?
It's so great. And what the fun thing is though, because that was 10, 12 years ago, right, when they won the Super Bowl. Yeah. And now, was it 12 years ago?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Jeez Louise. Okay, long time ago. Anyway, we're now watching all these games at my house. And my parents now, when we were going over to theirs, now my parents are coming to ours, and we're inviting the siblings and stuff. Now they're coming over to our house and watching. And so we all watched the game Saturday at my place.
That's awesome.
And, we had everybody brings a big spread of food, and everybody's just sitting there and watching and having fun. And I'm watching the game, I'm watching my parents, but I'm also watching my sons, who are now having these hopefully core memories that they're going to remember forever.
Absolutely they are.
Especially my 8 and 10. I have a 10, 8, 6, and 1. My 1-year-old, he doesn't know what's going on.
Who knows what goes through their minds, right?
My 6-year-old, I think he might remember some of it. My 8 and 10-year-old will definitely remember sitting there cheering on with Grandma and Grandpa when hopefully that season when the Seahawks won the Super Bowl with Darnold and all these guys. That hopefully will be a memory they'll have for the rest of life. And you just don't get that outside of sports. I mean, when else outside of sports do you all get together and just root for something so hard and you're riding the highs and the lows of it? That just doesn't happen.
Yeah, sports is pretty special. And the story you told about the Mariners and the Seahawks, kind of the inverse for me. So I grew up a Seahawks fan. My mom's from Seattle. I grew up out in the East Coast, but my mom's from Seattle. She lived here, went to high school here, I should say.
Sure.
And so the first helmet I ever had was a Seahawks helmet.
Nice.
Back east, everyone was like, "What the heck's that? That's kind of foreign." No one, what team is that? It's up in Alaska.
Yeah.
Never mind. But
that's what it felt like to be a Seattle fan for a long time. Like,
but the Mariners on their run this year really brought me back into cheering for the Mariners. I'd gone to some games at the Kingdom when I was a little kid, and I'd come out here and visit and stuff. But it got me back into it. Now I'm all Mariners, just like you're all Seahawks.
Yeah.
It is. The power of these moments, and then they come down to these little things that we have, like a 12 flag, and then when we really think about it, and then we really put all of our names on there and our messages or whatever else we want, it becomes something else, and it really brings a city together.
Yeah, what's that saying they have about the greater than the sum of the parts or something?
Yeah, that's right.
Whatever that is.
I think you just said it.
So the Seahawks, they're going to be playing in the NFC Championship.
NFC Championship Sunday.
Very exciting.
Against another rival.
It's got to be the Rams, right? I mean, you got to be playing the Rams. It makes sense that it's the Rams. It feels like destiny that they're playing the Rams.
I wanted the Bears, but you know what? The more and more I think about it, it's got to be the Rams. We've got to go through our rivals, and we're going to do it. I really believe that, and I don't think whoever wins, no one's beating the NFC in the Super Bowl.
This to me feels like the real Super Bowl. I mean, no, it's not, but this feels like the real Super Bowl.
It is, and that's why the NFL made it the second game on the day. Not just because we're West Coast teams, but it's the second game, and it's more prime time because that's what the NFL wants. They know that this is the game that matters. And I guarantee Goodell, the commissioner, and all that, they're all going to be at this game. They're going to fly into Seattle to watch this game because this is, I think, the Super Bowl.
Did you see? There's just some fun stats about this, but okay, so you have the Rams, who are the number one offense. You have the Seahawks, who are the number one defense.
Right.
You have, in the AFC matchup, you have a Coach Mike versus a Coach Sean. In the NFC matchup, you have a Coach Mike versus a Coach Sean. There's just this strange stuff that happens in sports. I don't know why it happens, but it does. Did you watch any of the AFC games over the weekend?
I watched all the football.
I watched all of them.
Yeah.
How crazy is it? I mean, just for a half second, how crazy is it that Bo Nix is out?
I know.
And the way he went out too, literally, it's the victory formation. I mean, like, that's the easiest thing in the world. You just put a knee down, game over, right? Isn't that where he heard it?
No, well, that's what a lot of people thought. I don't know, but what I've read is that they actually, Sean Payton, the coach, you talked about, pinpointed it back to a couple plays earlier where he was scrambling out.
Gotcha.
But Nix goes down, and then he gets right back up. And so you look at him, and he's walking on it. You don't think he doesn't look like a broken ankle at all.
Must have just been adrenaline, don't you think?
Yeah,
just like
and
adrenaline
a taped
kicking
ankle
in.
and all. Yeah, absolutely.
Can't feel it till it comes off, and then the swelling kicks in. You're just like, oh, geez.
And what's that? Because a lot of times a sprained ankle hurts a lot more than a bone. If a bone breaks, sometimes that's better because then you don't rip the ligaments or the tendons or anything like that. But,
yeah.
And I would imagine that would hurt more than a break. So maybe he didn't. I don't know. These guys are incredible. They're playing on broken bones, and poor Zach Charbonnet too.
Oh, I know.
You've gotten the message out by now that he's out with a knee injury, season-ending surgery as well.
If it's ACL, could be half of next season too. Or it's just that guy. What an amazing contribution he gave to the Seahawks this year. He really stepped it up too. I really feel like this was a massive year for him. He just looks like a tank. Every time he runs the ball, you're just like, oh, there he goes.
You know what I love also, and I know we're running short on time here, but I love the matchups with our coach, Mike Macdonald, because every time he's up against a powerhouse offense with a head coach, in this case, Sean McVay for the LA Rams, who's calling the offensive plays, Mike Macdonald calls all the defensive plays.
I know.
So it's like you're not watching checkers, you're watching a chess match.
It's a one-on-one.
I love that.
Fighting each other. It's going to be so great.
He killed Kyle Shanahan, so
I know.
Here you go.
2 games against the 49ers, they never scored a single touchdown. That defense has got to scare the heck out of the Rams. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, that's Luke Ducey. We got a lot more. We got text messages, fun stuff coming up. Stick around.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
More like Choke Point. The new year brings a big new headache for the thousands of you commuting south on I-5 into Seattle. The latest phase of Revive I-5 is underway, and it won't be finished anytime soon. I've got you covered with traffic on the 3s every morning from 6 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News. Nate Connors has you covered every afternoon. We're always hunting for alternate routes, and we'll help you get where you need to be a little faster. On KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
An organized home is a happy home and a happy homeowner. John Curley here. Closets by Design made me and my home happy. Experience the quality and backing of a national brand with friendly local Seattle service. From booking the appointment to a free in-home consult to installation day, Closets by Design will leave you wowed and clutter-free. Right now, get up to 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule today.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Every season is a little bit different here in Washington, but I'll tell you what, the amount of rain never seems to change in the winter, and we have sure gotten a ton of it this season. All that rain, all that water, it's all got to go somewhere. And if it makes its way into your crawl space, that's when it can create all sorts of problems, including real structural damage, which could really affect your home. But more importantly, for the health of your family, the water in that crawl space could create toxic mold, and that has serious health repercussions. Thankfully, we have Crawl Pros. They can come in and keep your crawl space dry, install a sump pump and drainage, and reroute that water back out and away from your home. They'll also take care of any mold that may have been created. Don't take the risk. It's too important. The best way to learn if you have any water is to ask Crawl Pros to visit your home and inspect your crawl space for free. Crawl Pros will go where you don't want to. So if you're worried about water damage, mold, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing and guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com.
Be there when the Seahawks make history. Hello! KIRO Newsradio's giving away 2 tickets to the NFC Championship game.
Oh, my word!
Sunday against LA at Lumen Field.
I can't tell you how pumped I am to see what the 12s bring.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app and click the Win tab to enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your odds.
This should be fun.
Enter daily now through Wednesday, January 21st. Contest rules at mynorthwest.com/win.
All right, welcome back to the show. We got a lot of text messages today. Tons of text message on the millionaire's tax proposal. A lot of them on the express lane opening question. Let's just dive right in. Laura, go for it.
Yeah. On Sully's idea to reopen the I-5 southbound express lanes. And it's just for a few hours, right? 5 a.m. to 7 a.m.
Let's alleviate some of that early traffic rush heading down to Seattle.
Let people beat the rush. Yeah. Layla says, Jake, I am driving I-5 every day. The express lane is empty. Nobody's using it going north. They need to keep it as is, opening at morning for southbound and the afternoon for northbound.
Yeah, that's the thing that I find so confusing. They already do this daily. They already open it and switch directions daily. And their explanation for not wanting to switch it is that they don't want to have to switch it. That doesn't make any sense. They do it twice a day. And they know that more traffic's coming in from the north side and going south, so just keep that going. All right. Brian in Bellevue says, sometimes I think WashDOT does these things because they just straight up don't like us, like traffic lights on the 522-405 interchange. Brian, secretly, it sounds like a conspiracy theory, but I do wonder if there are parts of our government that just go, let's just mess with these people just a little bit.
Todd in Burien says, what I understand is there will be 1 hour wasted because they have to clear all lanes before they switch them. So it will be 1 hour of nobody driving on it.
I don't know that that timeline is accurate, but let's say it is. Right now, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people commuting, wasting hours of their time daily. There's nobody on that lane. There's not going to be. There wasn't when they did this whole thing last summer. There was nobody driving. I could count them as I drove by, and that's a problem. So I think they should open it up. Tara in Mill Creek says, by not opening the express lane southbound in the morning, Ouachita is forcing tens of thousands of cars to idle and crawl every day, driving up emissions and fuel use. That's the opposite of what Washington says it's taxing us for. You can't tell people to pay climate fees and gas taxes, then design traffic patterns that guarantee more pollution every day. This isn't unavoidable. It's a choice. Excellent point, Tara. Thank you.
Good argument. And what did the Rams put in their socks to fight the cold? Do you want to read this one, Jake?
Yes, I couldn't think of it. I think I just said pepper, which wasn't right, or maybe hot pepper or something. They were putting cayenne pepper, which was
Okay.
Yeah, they actually sprinkled it into their socks.
That's crazy that works.
Yes.
That shouldn't work.
It shouldn't work, but it makes sense. But you would think it would only work inside your stomach.
Right.
But it works on your...
Apparently. I mean, they wouldn't do it if it didn't work, right?
Yeah. I mean, your skin is the largest organ, and that would make sense. It would have some effect on you.
I wonder if it burns. I bet it burns.
It must, yeah. On the Woodland Park Zoo's new Lion Cubs, Barry and Maple Valley said the Cubs' dads get them on the weekend. Oh, that's funny. Because the parents, the mom and the Cubs were put into like a separate area until they're big enough to play with the dad. But yeah, very funny.
On Governor Ferguson's Millionaires text, we got so many texts about this, so we don't read yours. I'm sorry. I did my best. 425 says, why doesn't he call it a Robin Hood tax? He's just stealing from the rich and giving it to the poor.
Alan in Shoreline says, somebody making millions of dollars in salary, not revenue, is not a small business. A small business is not one that can afford to pay somebody a $1 million salary. Alan in Shoreline, there are plenty of small business owners, you can have S-Corps, whatever it is, who have just one employee themselves, and they can make these high salaries, pass through businesses. You can read about it. And yes, they do make salaries like this. And yes, they're also very mobile. They can just go to a different state. They can go to Idaho and save a ton of money. It's very frustrating. Laura, go ahead.
Kirk from Tacoma says, what incentive would anybody have to grow their business beyond $1 million in revenue? Why would you hire or grow in any community if there's a threat that you would be taxed more and more for working hard? An insane, progressive, logical fallacy.
Totally right. Susan and Kent, 3 times more in taxes is paid by higher earners. Life isn't fair. Suck it up, says Susan.
And Jacob in the 253 says, I don't want any income tax to start because it gives them a slippery slope. Why not everybody?
Here's the other thing. This is a tricky backdoor. So Governor Ferguson did say, he goes, hey, I would support whatever it was. I'd support an amendment to the Constitution or whatever the language is to make it possible to tax high earners. Now, it's unconstitutional as it stands right now, but there is not a single state in our country that does not have an income tax system like this that doesn't open it up to everybody. It's going to happen. If they pass this, it will start with millionaires, and then it will be 900,000-aires, and then it will be 750-aires, and then it will be 500,000-aires, and before you know it, it's everywhere.
On your tow drone idea, Doug in Mount Vernon says, when accidents happen on bridges, just drop the vehicles in the water.
Perfect. That's what Dory's first plank was back in the day. He said his plank for governor would be slow driving vehicles crawling in the left-hand lane. He would pick them up with helicopters and he would drop them into the sound. And Dory was right about everything, which is why we miss him so much. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. John Curley's coming up next. Spike will be back tomorrow. It'll be a ton of fun. We'll see you back here then. Bye-bye.
One win away from the Super Bowl.
You stacked plays. It started with a 95-yard. Shaheed to the end zone. Holy catfish.
We play our style of play. Games can look like this often.
The table is set for the NFC Championship game. Sunday at Lumen Field against the Rams. Kickoff at 3:30.
Job's not done. We're going to do the same thing.
The road to the Super Bowl runs through Seattle and the home of the Seahawks. KIRO Newsradio.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300, 206-656-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Join Northwest Hope and Healing for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration, benefiting local breast and gynecologic cancer patients. Get your tickets now for